I like the Suns tonight. I like them laying 6. I thought that spread was fat for how bad they've been playing this season early on and how good Minnesota has looked.
Not so fast.
Midget.
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast.
This is the first game of Booker, Beal, and KD. This is their debut together.
Yeah, that's fucking beat. Fuck Bradley Beal. He is the worst. And I'm officially off of the Suns tonight. I honestly might even fade him. Justin Herbert, I'm just going to say it. He's mid. Dak Prescott. He's a coin respecter right now.
Yes.
He is. Jameis Winston now.
I feel like he could go in the GOAT category just because he's Jameis.
You could tell last night. Kent State had no business winning that game. They were never winning that game. Shit bets. I cannot believe what my eyeballs witnessed on the court last night in the MAC. What the fuck, dude?
Took Nick Bosa over 0.75 sacks. So Baker's screwed. The offensive line is screwed. Nick Bosa is going to terrorize them.
What's going on, chat? Good afternoon. Happy BTL episode 386 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, presented by Pickett Sports. If you guys aren't tracking your bets on Pickett Sports, grow up, okay? Start a New Year's resolution 10 days late with me, and join me on Pickett. Referral code Krabs, referral code BTL, referral code Javon. It's free. It's not a sports book, but go on there, track your bets, and join the best sports betting community out there by far. Great feed on there, much like Twitter, but just talking about sports bets. So go check it out. Pickett Sports, free to download, not a sports book. Go give it a check out. All right. Javon, we've done it again, you son of a bitch. Squad Ride W. Let's fucking go, dudes.
Let's go.
Another one bites the dust. Another W. Knock on wood. I'm going to do it again. Staying perfect through the new fucking year. That's what I'm talking about. That's all that matters in life. Okay. For us, for chats, for everyone here. It is the number one priority, and we have done our job so far this year. Job's not done. We got a whole lot of days left in this year, 355 to be exact. Job's not done. Job's not finished, Javon. We got to come with some more heat today. Plenty of games, plenty of winners, no excuses.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Sure. 8-0, come on, give me that. Let's fucking go, LC. Let's go, LC. Sure. Javon texted me today. He goes, it's going to be a fucking day full of cake if we're starting out with BT as your first best bet. I said, you're goddamn right it is, Javon. You're goddamn right it is. I don't even give a hoot. We're taking the Hokies today. I'm fucking hyped. All right. We got squad ride, squad bangs, sub bangs galore. I can't stop thinking about the fucking squad ride. Curbs coming in hot. Let's count some guap tonight, boys. Yes, sir, Curbs. Why not us? Why not us? And yeah, Lil Sama. Why not? 365 and 0. We're on the way. We're on the way. We got Senior Quan coming in with a sub bang. Love to see that, chat. We got best bets below. If you're antsy, you don't want to wait anymore. You don't want to wait till the end for our best bets or whatever, talking about the plays. Lock them in right now. All right, I don't want to hear any bitching. We got plenty to talk about today and recap. Goots, let's go ahead and cut this shit and dive right into it. Best bets and squad rides. That's a pretty damn good day, if I could say so myself. No complaints, Javon.
Yeah, not at all. Definitely got I don't know. I guess I can say a little fortunate in Georgia Tech because they had a 3 to take it to overtime, but realistically, somebody had to win the game. So we take that sometimes. But shout out Baylor, taking care of business. The one thing that I guess we can do a little Trent, what did we learn yesterday from the Big 12? The teams that came in got smoked by a lot of the new teams. They weren't ready for this shit, and BYU is one of those teams.
They were just not ready. They hung around early. Baylor looked like crud in the first half, Javon, but it was never in doubt, and they closed the door late. It was always the Baylor Bears in their new fucking arena, getting that puppy started up and closing out a -4.5 spread was never in doubt. W's.
It was.
Best bets, West Virginia. That was a shit bet. Still do not know who set that line. They probably should be fired. Iowa State, outright free air. Nebraska, outright free air. Tominaga turning into Steph Curry last night. That was fucking epic. Unfortunately, you guys probably had to buy Peacock to watch that fucking game, but I hope you did if you had it, because he was going off and he was putting on a fucking show. He literally, now I'm not even talking about the shots and scoring, but like his celebrations and just him going nuts and the camera panning to him and little Tominaga running around the court being a fucking beast, going nuts after he bangs a 3. It's literally Steph Curry. He turns into him once a month, and last night we got it. We hit on Nebraska. So love to see it. Tominaga absolutely balling, coming through with an outright win against Purdue. Javon, you said it perfectly. They have Edie's number. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but they just figure something out. I don't know how they do it. They do it with different guys in there. I thought it was just like a Derek, I forget his last name, but Derek thing when they had him in the paint the last couple of years. But I don't know. They got some voodoo in there.
Sure, they do. I don't know what it is, but when they play against Purdue, they turn into the 2015 Golden State Warriors. Tominaga leading the way, turning into Steph Curry. So that was dope. Goots, if you don't mind, DM and Hovey real quick. He's got a video that apparently we have to show, and I trust my mod. So
yeah,
if you guys
Hovey, DM it to BTL, and I'll get it.
Bang. There we go. DM it to BTL, and he'll pull it up. Okay. W's. What else we got to recap, Javon? We've got prize picks entries that went 2 for 3 last night. Green X's, hooks. Hate to see it. A rare PODL. No complaints. Not going to bitch because you're like 102 this year, so I don't give a shit. But we move. Tyrese Radford was air. Second half, he fucking balled. Wasn't enough for a cover. Still cannot believe they didn't cover that game, and we'll talk about that in a moment, Javon.
Crazy.
But Markstrom was air. Livers only banged 1. It turns out he actually is the worst player in the NBA.
Yeah, it wasn't even his fault. Like it was like an uncertain situation because it was like Cade's out, so I was kind of betting on a little more volume from him. But then, second quarter they had Joe Harris come in for the first time in a month and get minutes, and
I got.
he went like 3 for 5 from 3 and was the best player on the floor. So of course he got more minutes in the second half, and Livers didn't see the floor. But the risk you take.
If you would have asked me what Joe Harris was doing last night, I would have said eating popcorn on his fucking couch, watching NBA TV. Didn't even know he's still playing. That sucks.
I didn't realistically, to be honest with you.
Grabs, don't sleep on Sam Houston today. Fuzzy, I'm in REM. I will literally take a nap on the stream right now if I have to not bet Sam Houston State. No.
Yeah.
All right. This play can't make it up, Javon. We're done taking Austin Matthews. Fuck him. He stinks.
Yeah, we gotta give him a little timeout, I guess, for the
no more goats. No more goats. Just taking goats more than there's just nothing good about it. Nothing good comes from it. Sure, it could be a good read. Sure, I'm down for double dipping. Sure, I'm down for taking red charts. And you know what, Javon? If you told me today to take it again, I'd listen to you and I fucking would and I trust. But let's keep the goats out of here. All right, let's keep the A team and the B team to the nasty squares that smack, right? Our bread and butter. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the drawing board. Rumor has it we might craft up an A team and a B team on stream today with the help of chat. People are talking. That could be the difference.
Rumors are swirling.
Could be the difference. Goods, what do you got?
The Hovey clip is ready. It's something we got to listen to.
Okay. All right.
We ready?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I don't think I got the jinx anymore. If I'm completely honest with you, man, there's this one guy on TikTok, bro. His name is like y'all thought I was a jinx, bro. Go look at this guy. Book it with Trent. Go look at that guy. All right, hop off me. Okay. I said Michigan was going to win. I put about, I'll tell y'all, I put like $5,000. I think it was $5,000 on Michigan to win. Straight up. I believed. And I did. And they won. Okay. This dude, bro, as soon as I saw him pick Washington, I knew I had to win. Truly. If you want to go fade someone, go fade that guy, bro. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I'm not a jinx anymore. I'm dead serious. Blue.
Okay. Couple things here. Number one, that was hilarious. Number two, I'm all for that. Okay. So nothing against this guy for chirping Trent. Trent deserves the chirps at times for his bets. Number three, how do you think you threw 5K on Michigan? What do you mean you think you threw 5K on Michigan? I'm going to have to see a slip, brother, because there's no way in fuck that this guy put any money on the Michigan Wolverines. If he put 5K on them, he wouldn't be saying, oh, I think I put around 5K on it. No, dude. He didn't put shit on them. So I'll leave it at that. Slip. Attaboy Goods.
Also, I think he has he's one of those guys that has the corporate like green book parlays that drop like every other couple days.
Does he actually?
I mean, yeah, so I mean those don't hit, but we'll see everything else. I don't know.
Damn, he's got promos up there?
Yeah, he's got promos up there. I know he had one for the Commies Cowboys game, I think, if I remember. I saw that post swirling around, and I can probably tell you 99% that did not hit. So
okay. Well, you know what? Maybe he was throwing 5 rackaroons on it if he's loaded. And if that's the case, I will tip my cap. I've just never seen someone react to that, sending a 5K slip. That might just be light work for him. And if that's the case, I definitely tip my cap. And good bet on Michigan. Go Blue. W Hovey. Yeah, thanks for showing that slip, bro. You know who the real fade god is? It's this guy on TikTok. Book it with Trent. That's all time, bro. All time. Crabs, you kind of remind me of Joe Harris. That's got to be. All right. We're going to move. We're going to groove. We've got King of the Board, and I have magical powers. I don't know what it is. And Javon sucks at this challenge, and he's 1-2, and I'm 2-1, and we're here again. What the hell's going on?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. You have my number.
Rename it or pivot next week.
You have my number in this shit. Now I don't know what it is.
I'm literally Nebraska, and you're Zach Edey and Purdue in the King of the Board.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
What it is.
Hey, we still got time. I don't know if I have anything today. I probably should. Okay. But we'll see.
I love the board today. So I'm thinking about maybe even just sealing it up today, going 1-1 or 2-0 and just locking this up and just counting my guap. But we'll see, chat. I've got some nukes. We got to lock in for CBB tonight.
Whoa.
Okay. Ooh, what are you looking at?
Whoa.
Pete Carroll out? No way. No way. A lot of big name coaches on the way out. Vrabel, Vrabel, Pete Carroll, a lot of big name coaches who have built up dynasties, not dynasties. Vrabel didn't build a fucking dynasty. Pete Carroll did at one point. Are these guys that I should want coming to DC to try to rebuild the culture, rebuild our brands, Javon?
Not Pete
or do
Carroll.
You want to go after these young brains?
He said he's going to stay in the organization, so not Pete Carroll, but he, I guess, got Bruce Arians pretty much. They kind of pushed him out.
He still could remain in the
org. Yeah.
Okay. Dang, man, that's even worse. That's like when you get back together with your ex. That shit never works. That's like demoting your head coach for 20 years to an assistant role. That never works. Okay, maybe he'll be GM Pete Carroll. Maybe he'll be, defensive coordinator Pete Carroll. I don't know. Maybe he'll just be sitting up in the box, like your guy was for the Bucs 2 years ago, right? Doing absolutely nothing and just putting his name, on the team, leaving his mark. I don't know. But very interesting move. After he just announced the other day that he was coming back and not retiring, then this comes out. Pete Carroll's a legend. All right, whether he's lost his fastball or not, I don't even know. That Seattle team is so fucking confusing, and I feel like they're a different team every night. But Pete Carroll's a legend and debatably a Hall of Famer. So either way, this is big news. Chat, what do you guys think? Did they do him dirty? Does Pete Carroll deserve to stay at that head coaching role, as long as he wants? Has he earned that right or not? Probably not when he chose to pass instead of run with Marshawn Lynch, but I don't know. All right. W's, let's move, let's groove. No steam crabs today. Nothing to really get mad about. Yesterday, I sent a bazillion bets. I knew it was going to be a terrible idea. To be honest with you, Javon, it actually worked out pretty decent. 7-5. We take that if you send 12 plays any day of the week and twice on Sunday. T-Wolves, air. Okay.
So air.
Texas A&M, cake. There's the thumb up. There it is. Sure. Texas A&M last night, which we're going to talk about that team and that game here in a moment. They blew it. Buzz Williams blew it. Baylor was free. Buffalo was a terrible bet. Thank you, chat, for convincing me to take that one and lock that one in. I lost my coins. Cincinnati absolutely melted at -4. South Carolina team total under was maybe the greatest bet ever crafted up. And if you ended up just taking Bama spreads, you're also rich. West Virginia was a terrible bet that lost. Rutgers was a W. Boise State was a W, and I hated that bet, but I had to lock it in. Nebraska was a W outright. Pitt was a terrible bet. I'm fucking done betting on that moose shit Pitt team that stake sharp every fucking week. And then Iowa State, maybe the best bet of them all. There were rumors of that being fake sharp, and no chance, Javon. They got an outright dub, and Houston looked like they forgot how to play basketball in the first half of that game.
Yeah. I mean, welcome to the Big 12.
Yeah.
Houston, BYU, Cincy, they all had fun yesterday.
Yes, they did. I think Javon Levy hit it at some system. He's got crafted up, and maybe he's got some more plays today. And we'll get to that when we dive in balls deep to the CBB board because it's glorious today. Goots?
Pitt first half, right? That was a good bet.
Yeah, the Goots POD has seen better days, Goots. Maybe we'll give you a day off today.
Better days.
You're overworked, all right? We don't need you getting hurt. We don't need you stressing or forcing. Okay, you're overworked. We'll give you a day off for the Goots POD.
Appreciate it.
All right? P. Wagner coming in with a subby, Florida money line. Okay. All right. Roadster coming in with a subby. Bang. Let's go, Roadster. 5 months. My lucky number. Good vibes for today. We got B here now, 3. He's here now, and he's subbing. Coming in with a bang. Love to see that. Jake Gucci coming in. Get busy, Dizzy. 21. Can you do something for me? Sure, brother. Jake Gucci coming in, giving out subbies. The Duck ETH coming in, resubbing for 3 months. Let's go, boys. Hella subbies. Can't forget about Lenny. Thought he's going to get swept under the rug there. Lembong. Nope. He gave a sub bang out too 8 minutes ago. Love to see that. Ron Mux Clam right before him. Lembong cannot let him one-up him, though. Both of them giving up sub bangs early today. Flynn coming in hot with a subby. Holy shit, Javon. We get so many. I got to stop thinking. Pitt is so sharp, man. Flynn, 10 minutes ago, just said the same thing. We think alike, and you are 100% right. Pitt stinks, and so does Jeff Capel. That team is atrocious. Big Baller coming in with a subby. Let's go, boys. Hella sub bangs. Peyton 402 coming in hot with a subby. Vibes are up. Squad rides hitting. Perfect in the new year. Knock on wood. Let's move. Let's groove, Giovanni. Let's talk about some wagons on this Wagon Wednesday. Why not us?
Let's do it.
Let's move. I'll get it kicked off here, and I'll let you close it out. I'm going with Mississippi State as my wagon this Wednesday. And, guys, like I talked about before, every time I give a wagon, it's cursed. So take that with a grain of salt, and they always end up losing. But Mississippi State, who, by the way, did lose their only game so far this new year, I don't even care. They're still a wagon in my mind, and they're going to prove that to the public tenfold tonight when they get an outright win. But Coach Gans was not fucking around when he said this team did not practice a lick of defense this offseason. It's clear they didn't. Their defense didn't get worse. I don't even think they could get any better. The more you practice defense, those guys are already fucking elite, top 15 defense in college basketball, in my opinion. Pretty much all the seniors have returned, and they got a couple other new guys too. They're studs, but their offense has improved. I swear they've already scored more points this season than they have last year, it feels like. They're putting up points. Sure, they're coming off a bad game and a loss to South Carolina in the new year, but I think they bounced back big time because this Josh Hubbard kid, Javon, I don't know if you're hip to him. I'm sure you are. One of the best freshmen in the SEC.
So good.
This kid's a fucking stud. Homegrown from Mississippi. Love when these kids stay home and play for their schools. Just means more. I fucking love backing these kids with my coins. And in an SEC rivalry game tonight, they're going to have to get a big-time outright win at home to avoid starting 0-2 in SEC conference play. And good thing they have one of the best freshmen in the SEC in Josh Hubbard, who's averaging almost 15 points per game. They get Tulu Smith back 2 games ago. Javon, he was on a minutes restriction those first 2 games, and he still averaged 15 points per game after another week off. He should be a full go. If I had to guess today, which is huge, they're going to need him to be against this Tennessee team today. So, guys, this Mississippi State team is absolutely stacked. Obviously, their best player is Tulu Smith, who is one of the best bigs in college basketball. They have a stud freshman scorer in Josh Hubbard. Everyone else is a senior who's played up a zillion minutes, has scored up a zillion points, and is just an absolute stud who knows the game of basketball and plays the right way. That's why Mississippi State is sitting where they're at right now. And sure, they lost their first SEC game of conference play, but that's not going to last, and they're going to turn it around today with an outright win against Tennessee. This team is 8-6 ATS this season. They're going to be 9-6 ATS with an outright win and cover against Tennessee tonight at home. In Chris Yans, we trust.
We do. And shout out POD Pete. We got some sub bangs of 5 you guys are. Love to see that. W Pete.
Sure. Just baseball fans.
Looks like Trent's arrived today too. Unreal.
W is. Whole squad is here. Looks like the world's taking notice. The squad rides are passion. Pete, there's rumors aloof that the Nats are targeting this pitcher from, I think, the Japanese league, and the deadline is tomorrow night. So, Pete, if you know anything about that, please let me know or shoot me a text and break my heart and tell me there's no fucking chance we're getting them. Will you? Also, people forget the Nats have not made – I mean, sure, they got, Nick Senzel, but they have not made a real move this entire offseason, and it's concerning. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. Did you see this yesterday, too? The Cubs got a manga.
No way.
Manga, however you say it.
No way.
I'm not going to lie. I think that's a shit move.
Oh, no.
I'm going to be honest. I think he's obviously a very talented pitcher, but the Cubs shelling out everything for a fly ball pitcher is a move. It's an interesting decision, I would say.
A
But we'll see.
30-year-old lefty.
They're going to have to, 30-year-old lefty fly ball pitcher in Wrigley Field. They're going to have some adjusted, rotation or whatever it is. Because if he pitches with the wind, he's putting up prime first inning Kyle Hendricks numbers when he goes and gives up those 8-run starts. It's
I was going to say, are they just forcing to go get a lefty in the rotation? And I'm like, they got Justin Steele at the top of that rotation. What are they forcing a lefty for? Interesting.
I don't really know.
Interesting. Now, the wind does blow both ways. Sometimes it helps, although most times it hurts. Most times it's blowing out the center there in Wrigley. And that's why they put it there, because it's fun. All right. Yeah, interesting move. Very curious to see if there's any more moves with some of these foreign arms coming over before the deadline tomorrow, which is, I believe, at 5 p.m. Eastern. I know LC tweeted this morning, and I felt the same way. She needs baseball back. I'm so ready for baseball back, too. And I know my Nats are going to suck, but I'm ready. Bring it back. All right. There should be some winter ball or some shit. That'd be a W. I just want to bet the prize pick squares, man. Betting prize pick squares with baseball is just diffy. So ready for baseball season.
So fun.
Yep. I'm sure she is, though, after the Rangers just got a W, too, though. So, Cloud 9.
It's true.
Is Fetty Wap coming back to the States? Flyer faithful, man.
Yeah. On the south side, right?
Tell you, but he's already here. He's back. He is on the where did he go?
South side, I think.
Yeah, Chicago White Sox. Yep, Chicago White Sox. More or less than Eric Fetty ERA 5.5 next season. What do we take for the season?
It's probably soaring over. Not gonna lie.
Okay. Yep. W Chew. Hey Chew, that's my guy. Take care of him. All right. Take care of him. Javon, let me know about your wagon on this Wednesday. All right.
I'm not going to try and jinx a team that's playing today. I'll take somebody who played yesterday. Auburn. Going to reiterate my feelings on them because To be honest with you, I mean, you talked about Texas A&M choking that game, Buzz Williams choking that game. I think Auburn's just that damn good. Like, there's a reason my new rule is I'm not fading Auburn in the jungle, which not like that's a crazy rule, but I only did it once. I only did it once, and I'm not doing it very much unless I love the spot.
And who'd you do it on? What team?
The team that we're potentially taking today, who's super sharp.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Yeah, there goes the fireworks. Fucking Hokies, man. But yeah, Auburn is so good, dude. Even like they're deep and they can get it from a lot of different guys in the lineup. Like Janai Broom is obviously fantastic. He doesn't go anywhere. Jalen Williams, I think, has taken a step up in his game, and he hit a couple big shots yesterday too in that game. And his defense has always been fantastic, but now offensively, I think he's at a new level. You got the bunch of guards, like defensively, even like Aiden Holloway and Denver Jones, even when they're not putting up points like they did last night, great defensively. And same story with like Katie Johnson, who came off the bench and gave him a really good spark offensively last night too. So like it's a well-rounded team. And like we talked about with the futures, you have a pretty favorable SEC schedule against a lot of teams who are not going to be able to handle pressure. So I would not sleep on this Auburn team too much longer. I don't know how the public generally feels about them, but I think they're one of the best teams in the country right now. I think they're right up there with the top 5 teams in the country. I think they're that good.
So what you're telling me is Bruce Pearl's Tigers are fucking back, is what you're telling me.
So back.
Okay. I mean, for them to hold Texas A&M last night to 0 field goals in the last 9 minutes of the game, I believe is the stat they kept saying over and over again. It was driving me crazy as I was just holding on to Tyrese Radford free throws for my fucking life to catch that prize pick square and hold on for the spread as it, eventually lost as a terrible bet. You know how deep this team is, Javon, when Katie Johnson's minutes are cut down to 17.5 this season compared to last year, 22, and the year before, 28. This team just keeps getting better and deeper when guys like Katie Johnson aren't out there even starting anymore. That's how you know it fucking team has improved. Katie Johnson would be starting on almost every team in college basketball, straight up. And his minutes have gone down significantly. His play has not been great, I'll be honest, but his defense is. And to see a guy like him coming off the bench, a senior, another one they have on that very veteran-heavy roster besides their 5-star point guard, it's impressive. This team is deep. They can do everything. They play defense. They win at home. And Bruce Pearl got the better of Buzz Williams for the first time in the last 3 games at the Jungle. You know that one meant more for him. He had to get that win because Buzz Williams is the only guy on earth who had his number at the Jungle until last month. Wagon Wednesdays. Let's hope we didn't jinx these 2 squads, especially Mississippi State, who plays tonight. And I'm sure we'll both have our coins on them. And then Javon's Wagon, who was Auburn, deservingly so. After last night, they caked my fucking bet. W's.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's move. Let's groove. Cut the shit, chat. We got too many games today to be messing around. Let's talk about some college basketball. We got plenty of games, plenty of action. Javon, let me know if you want to stop. Goots will just start scrolling. I don't love a lot of these early games. I guess we can talk about them. I got nothing in Loyola's and Army, though. You?
Nope. Neither do I.
Providence and St. John's. Thought about maybe wanting to back Oduro more than PRA or more than points today. Excuse me. After his goose egg. Not an actual goose egg, but terrible game in that last contest. But I really don't want to do that against Big Cliff here. I'll be honest. Or not Big Cliff. Who's St. John's' big center? Is it Cliff?
No, it's Joel Soriano.
Soriano, who's better, in my opinion. Against Soriano, and then I saw Odoro's points and PRA get bumped down. I was like, you know what? I think I'm good on that. Seeing the spread move 2 points towards St. John's here at home. Do I think St. John's gets it done? Yes, but it's Providence, guys. And they're coming off of 2 straight losses. We know what this Providence team does. I'm sure Mikey's sitting here watching, laughing right now at me saying to fade this team. They just fucking cover and win, and I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm not fading them. I lean St. John's, but I'm not fucking fading Providence anymore, especially after 2 losses, even if they're on the road.
Yeah, I'm not going to get to the counter with taking St. John's and fading Providence, but I can't back this team, not just like because of the injury, because they're missing a lot of production there, but that's like a lot of onus on the guard play. And yes, we know, we're very aware they don't have Hopkins. We've seen that for a while now. But yeah, they got to figure out some guard play because somebody's going to have to take that role, and it doesn't look like it's really been fleshed out yet. So they're going to have a couple games, kind of like UConn has or does with Klingon when he's out, or like they did a little bit of last year too. So they'll figure it out eventually. Their defense is still really, really good, but I don't know that that's a great thing to bank on against St. John's in this game.
I'm sorry, Jabon. Did the Islanders win last night? Took a Lorenz POD.
Yeah, and he deleted all the tweets I saw. Deleted a lot
No
of tweets.
way.
Yeah.
Chats, can you guys use your brains and eyeballs, please? Okay. Listen to people that are actually not scumbags and put their faces on the cameras and their names behind them. Not people who delete tweets and you've never even seen what they look like. Please be smart. This goes for us. Please. Fuck that guy for deleting those tweets, man. What a bozo.
It's funny because somebody get that shit off the screen, Goots, man. Somebody DM'd that to me this morning that he deleted a lot of tweets, and I looked, and the first thing I see under like his last reply is like, I've never given out a play more than -110 when the Islanders were literally -120 yesterday. I was like, yeah, sure. Sure.
Interesting. King Dre's being smart. He's telling him just to pay his place. That's how it's done, folks.
Keeps the tweet
We're
up.
going for a week,
Huge.
and we're taking livers threes. Yeah, Trent, we need you back. We need our NBA rock. We need our rock back. Okay, we need our voice of reason, our NBA sharp at book it back to talk us down from those plays.
Yeah.
All right. Another mega card today. Nah, Moose. We're going to be more selective today. All right. Yesterday was fun, but let's be quality over quantity today. All right. Interesting game here. You lean St. John's with me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. W's. And by the way, guys, just baseball fans and POD Pete dropped 5 sub-bang whales. Make sure you guys follow them on Twitch and check out POD Pete's off-season content. Okay. Northwestern and Penn State, Javon, 2 teams coming off of big-time wins in their last game. I believe both were dogs and both pulled off some nice upsets. I initially wanted to back Penn State, looking at Northwestern coming off that upset now here on the road. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm thinking that Penn State might be a little fake sharp today. They're giving me vibes of a team who was way better last season than they are this year. Although their record is okay this year, I think they're a little more fraudulent and not as good as the books are accounting for right now with the lines anyways. And they're giving me some fake sharp vibes at home here. Not saying I'm landing with Northwestern, but definitely would not be betting on Penn State here.
Remember what I said about Rutgers in that game yesterday, which I guess was about Indiana too, because those teams that put up a couple of fraudulently, high-scoring performances like their last couple times out, and realistically, there's more defensive teams, or should be, especially with Rutgers at home in Jersey Mike's. I kind of feel the same way about this game, which Penn State more so has been putting up, bigger offensive games, higher totals, because, they've played Michigan State, who dropped like 90 points on them. Michigan, same deal. They've had a lot of teams that kind of push the tempo and push the pace, so they kind of have had to play to that. And Northwestern doesn't really do that. And again, they've played kind of similar teams where they've just gotten either dominated or they've played teams that are going to run a little faster. So like this game, I think is another one of those Rutgers like games from yesterday that's low scoring, better defense, slugfest. I probably still lean Northwestern, but I think this is a game that probably ends up in the 60s. Like I like this under personally.
Okay. You like the under in Northwestern and Penn State's. I'm seeing that total is a little higher than where it opened.
It is
half a point. Interesting.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I would think it's honestly, I think 145 is probably my benchmark. Like if I were to see anything higher than that, I'd be a little scared. But with the games these teams have played, where a lot of either them or the other team has been stuck in 80+ range for a lot of those games, I think it's still pretty telling that it's as low as it is.
I agree. And this is a big game for both these teams. Coming off of massive outright wins as +3 dogs. Penn State just beat Michigan outright. Northwestern just beat Michigan State. So they just both eliminated both Michigan teams, and now they're playing each other. I lean Northwestern. It's more of a gut play. I just think their team is substantially better. It's not even a line play. Rare Crabs basketball mind lean Northwestern. Okay?
Fair enough.
I'm calling my shot right now. I think Penn State is fake shit, but we'll see.
Go.
All right?
Calling your shot.
Yes, love it. And now that's definitely not going to hit. Purdue, Fort Wayne, and Youngstown State, Javon. Anything in that's absolute behemoth of a mid-major game?
Nope. I'm good.
Sure. All right. Tell me why you like Kansas so I can bitch.
I don't like Kansas because this is like, it's technically not the system, which the system that I've been either taking or just plain out avoiding, which this is probably an avoid game. I want to fade all of these new Big 12 teams when they come, they play their first big game. Now, UCF is not in the same situation as BYU was last night, as Iowa State was last night, as Cincy was in last night, because they have already played a Big 12 game, but this is a little different because this is Kansas. They played Kansas State on the road in Manhattan as their first Big 12 game on the weekend. They got thrashed. So, I mean, that was the time to back the system too. But this is their first massive game hosting, the Big 12, the team who's run the Big 12 for as long as it's existed. So I don't want to take UCF in this spot. I don't love Kansas either, which is why it's probably a little bit of a stay away game for me because I still really don't trust their offense on the road. I guess the one thing that you can kind of bank on, UCF, they're small and kind of weak. So like this screams to me matchup wise, like a Hunter Dickinson is absolutely going to grub for 20 and 15 type game. So if they can do that and use that as a crutch on the road, that's all the difference for them. So like it's going to have to be him and Kevin McCullough like it always is. But if Dickinson's able to grub, it's a whole different story. So that would also probably lean with some points in this game because if they're scoring and UCF's having to keep up the pace a little bit, it's going to turn into a shootout really quick.
Okay. I'm going to be on UCF today. I'm going to fade Kansas. Anything shorter than a 10-point favorite on the road here against the UCF team in the biggest game of their program history. Coming off a terrible loss to Kansas State where they got beat down by 25 and only put up 52 points. That's not this offense that I know and love. That's not Jalen Sellers. Jalen Sellers is a 20-point-per-game guy. Come on. They're going to bounce back against Kansas, who I think is extremely overrated and overvalued. I don't even know if they're a top 5 team in college basketball right now. I'm sure by the end of the season, I'll be eating my words. And Bill Self will have that team absolutely locked in, firing on all cylinders, looking like doing things we've never even seen before because he's the best coach in college basketball, one of. I'm still taking UCF here, coming off that bad loss at home. Insane atmosphere in this game. Home court advantage matters so much in college basketball. And the first time they're playing a Kansas team, I think they might catch them sleeping here a little bit. Kansas has been on a roll. Nobody's been talking about them because it hasn't been pretty. They're not covering. They're only 5-8-1 ATS. They're barely beating these teams, squeaking by. I think they get another one today. Another squeaky win by a handful of points. Could be OT. Could be, down to the last possession. That's what I'm seeing in this one. But I'll take the points and I'll take my chances with UCF at home in their first home conference game here against the best team in this conference, getting 7.5 points.
Yeah, that's fair. If I didn't see the +7, which +7 sneakily been a good little home dog spot, and if Kansas, Oklahoma wasn't looming on a Saturday, I would 100% be in.
Let's go.
1K viewers. Maybe bots.
Sure. I don't think it's bots this time. I'm seeing a rackaroon in Twitch.
Yeah.
Who knows these days, man? These damn kids and their AI and their bots. You fellas getting into the NBA laters. Well, after I smacked that T-Wolves bet last night, shout out Trent, we're going to have to get back to the NBA and just make sure there's not a nasty place. Yes, and they are a heavy dog against the Celtics, and we're going to talk about that towards the end, 100%. Chad, we'll do college basketball first. We're all dialed right now, okay? Krabs plus Javon, 24-hour for 1K. Yeah, no, it's going to have to be 2K now. We've hit 1K before, Kyle. Come on. We got to level up in 2024. If we get 2K people in here right now, I'll do a 24-hour stream. How about that? All right, make it happen, chat. Go. Hurry up. And I will not wrap Javon into that, okay? Tennessee and Mississippi State. Let's go. Come on. Give me the points. We might not need them. They're going to win this game outright. I mean, Javon, could you pick a team that matches up better with Tennessee? They might play that Tennessee bully ball better than Tennessee plays it this year. This Mississippi State team almost reminds me of Tennessee from last season with defense, with bully ball, with bigs. This Mississippi State team is now healthy. This will be, like I talked about earlier, Toulouse Smith's third game back. And after a week off from that last game, or almost a week off, he should be a full go, or at least almost a full go, and not just playing 20 minutes per game anymore. I'm taking the points here. Short spread, nothing crazy here. Conference play. I'm going to back the home court and the home dog when I thought they'd be +5.5, only coming off that terrible loss to South Carolina, like I already talked about going over Wagon Wednesdays. And guys, this Tennessee team, sure, they did look pretty good in that last contest, but before that, did they look that sharp? Is this Tennessee team a little overrated? Are they missing that big dude, that big foreign dude who threw bows in the fucking paint and would just be a piece of shit and either injure or scare off other bigs around them and just be an absolute presence in the paint? Yes, they are. And you know what? Toulouse Smith is going to be that guy for Mississippi State tonight. That team is huge. They match up perfectly with Tennessee, and they're going to get a big-time win and knock off Tennessee, one of the best teams in the country, at home tonight. In Chris Jans, we trust.
Yeah, it's been a while since Mississippi State's been able to get the better of Tennessee. I think they've won like 5-6 in a row and covered 4 in a row.
Yeah, at least
so
5 in a row.
This could certainly be the time. And I'm in. And I think the kind of just like Houston, Iowa State yesterday, this game feels pretty similar to me. Where like I think square unders is perfectly in play. It's going to have to be that type of game for Mississippi State to come out on top. So I think the game looks the same, and I am in because I think it's going to play out the same.
I'm in as well. One of my favorite plays of the day, Mississippi State +2, might not need them. All right. Javon, why don't you tell me about this Clemson game?
Yeah, why don't you tell me about this Clemson game?
Oh, shit. Here we go again. Yep. I said it. Give me the Hokies. One of my favorite plays today. I don't know why in fuck they're +2 in this spot against a Clemson team who's actually good. Sure, Clemson dropped that last game and absolutely folded like a Dollar Tree lawn chair. But look at what VT's been doing, bro. Like, watch their games. They fucking stink. It's like watching, I don't know what I could compare it to. It's like watching a Maserati drive off a cliff. We have all these pieces, all these tools that are supposed to be fitting together, working together perfectly, shiny new pieces, and nothing's fucking looking good. And it's an absolute shit show right now, and they're starting out ACC conference play 0-2. Well, you know what? I bet if you went and blindly bet every ACC school who started out conference play 0-2 against the spread, against a fucking ranked team, that team covers a bazillion % of the time in that next game. It's the ACC. These teams all beat up on each other. They're going to beat up on a Clemson team who, by the way, owns VT. Another reason why this spread is hilarious. But if you dig into what Clemson doesn't do well and what the Hokies are supposed to do well, that they haven't done yet, but I know this team like the back of my fucking hand, and they have the same pieces from last year. They can do it. We've seen them do it. They don't defend the 3 well. You know what VT does? Actually well, that they haven't done or we haven't seen all season this year. I'm still waiting for it, Javon. It's shoot the lights out. Where is it? Okay? It could be tonight in Castle. We know this VT team has magical powers in Castle. Okay? We've seen them knock off the best teams in the ACC for the last 5 years since I was fucking there. All right? We beat Duke. We beat Zion. We beat UNC. We beat UVA. We beat everyone at home. We own the ACC at home. And we're going to own the ACC at home again tonight against a Clemson team that's a little bit overrated. Sure, they're coming off of 2 losses. I don't like that spot, but so are the Hokies. Backs are against the wall. Sure, PJ Hall is going to get his. Okay, we should probably even take his PRA today. We'll talk about that. But the Hokies are going to win this game outright. They're going to shoot the lights out. It's going to be the Couture and the Padula show. And by the way, I don't know if you saw what Couture did in that last game, but he's back.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good. So, I mean, I don't know if I have the stomach to take VT. I'm not going to lie to you. I support the play, though. But I kind of want to take the over in this game because you know what happened. And you talked about what Virginia Tech should be able to do offensively, shoot the 3 very well. I think there's multiple avenues for Clemson because PJ Hall is going to get his probably a little more on the inside with as soft as VT is on the interior. But you know what? I know you watched how Clemson lost that game against UNC, but you know what they did? Other than the PJ Hall foul trouble and the Joe Girard foul trouble, won 1 of 18 from 3. And you know what I see on the board today?
Who?
Guy who's pretty familiar with playing in the Castle, even though he's a new addition to this team. Joe Girard. Yeah. Joe Girard is going to spray today from 3. Yep. So he's up. He's got his prize pick square up that I would love to take too. So, I mean, his total's moving up after Clemson just dropped 55 points at home on 1 of 18 shooting from 3 against a pretty good North Carolina team where they had the chance to prove it. Now they bounce back offensively, and I kind of do still agree in my gut that VT is probably going to win this game, but it ain't going to be because of their defense. It's going to be because they're scoring and going toe-to-toe with Clemson like they did for, parts of that FSU game. So I like points. I can respect VT, though, but I think Joe Girard is going to light them up today.
Let me match you with a 3-point square in this game that I've had my eye on.
I already know what you're talking about. Man.
Well, if you made me go back to Austin Matthews more, then I'm making you go back to Sean Badula more, then suck it. How about that?
Fair Fair.
Dudes, put that shit up there. Sean Padula, more than 1.5 threes made. We're taking this shit. Lock it in. Guys, Padula, if you look back, and I literally remember these games against Clemson, we never play well against Clemson. There's just something about it. Even when they're bad, they just seem to have our number. The games are always weirdly close, whatever. Last year, in the 2 games we played them, Padula played like rat meat. He did. But if you look, the volume was there. Okay, he shot plenty in this game. All right, he went 5 for 16 from 3, which honestly doesn't sound as bad as I made it seem, but his stats were just not good. His points were not good, whatever. The team lost both those games, but the volume was there. Okay, he had plenty of 3-point opportunities. He shot them a bunch, and that was in just 2 games. He shot 16 threes, Javon, and he's been cold as ice. And now they're putting that square back up. I fucking bet. After Couture had an absolute field day in that last game, yeah, they're going to switch off. It's going to be Padula night tonight. Couture's going to get locked up, and he's going to be more of a defensive focus, probably trying to lock up one of these guards like Tyson on Clemson, because that's really going to be the only chance we have. So give me Padula, more than 1.5 threes. This chart looks weird as heck, and I honestly like the matchup for him anyways against the 145th best opposing 3-point defense in the nation in Clemson. They can't cover a parked car from deep. Padula is going to take advantage of that tonight, and he's been cold recently, coming off a little bit of a better game in that last contest. Same with Couture. I think he goes off, and I think the volume will be there easily. All right, he's going to put ball in hoop and make 2 threes.
Sure. I'm in.
Sure. All right. W's, let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk about Louisville's and Miami's. Okay. This is a fat spread for a Miami team that might be a spec fraudulent this year. I don't know. TBD. Javon, what do you think about that spread?
It looks normal, I'd say.
Looks normal.
Honestly,
they are playing a pretty bad Louisville team.
Yeah, I mean, what? I think Virginia was at that same spread when they played them on the road too. It's like, I mean, I think it's fair, I would say. I don't really have any thoughts about this game. I mean, I think Miami definitely lights them up from 3. Louisville 3-point defense is absolutely garbage. They're going to get their shots up. So if they're hitting them, it's going to get ugly. So, I mean, I'm not going to take Miami, but I think it's a fair line.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't like anything in that game either. Or Jacksonville State and Liberty, or Citadel and Furman. We can move. We've got a TMC 60 subby, 4 months. W's TMC. Love to see that. That could be Terry McLaurin. Cannot confirm or deny. We're going to move. Citadel Furman. No thanks. LaSalle Mass. Nope. Georgia Southern Marshall. St. Joe's and St. Louis. Let's take a peep. These are 2 pretty okay teams. Let's take a peep at the fake sharp St. Louis boys. I just don't get it, man. They've been doing this for years. They're 6-8 ATS again this year, 7-8 on the season. That math doesn't check out. They must have played a game against a D2 team. But St. Joe's, on the other hand, is an absolute wagon. But they're starting to come back down to earth. They have 2 losses in their last 3 games to Rhode Island and College of Charleston. St. Louis, though, on the other hand, they just are not good. They've lost 3 games in a row to George Mason, Loyola Chicago, and NC State. Do you like anything in this spot, Javon? St. Louis does own St. Joe's. St. Joe's hasn't beaten them since 2019. 4 straight wins in a row for the Billikens.
Yeah, I mean, this line probably tells you St. Louis. I don't know that I'm dying to get involved, partially because, I mean, St. Joe's is one of those teams where, like, they've been on the opposite side of sharp spots all year. They've beaten a lot of them, so I have to love a spot, and they're coming off of a spot against Rhode Island where finally, you know, the Sharps grubbed there. Now they're facing a St. Louis team that still probably gets a little bit of name respect. I mean, matchup-wise, St. Louis is pretty good at stopping a lot of the things that St. Joe's does offensively, so it makes a little bit of sense. But, I mean, with the total sitting where it is, that doesn't give me any hope because, realistically, if this is a game that is won on defense, which it kind of would have to be for St. Louis, I would love to see some 140s, but we're very clearly not seeing that. So, I don't know that I'm dying to get involved with St. Louis today, if you couldn't tell.
Okay. I'm good with that. I don't want to bet that game either. Any thoughts on Charlotte laying 7.5 points against a Tulsa team with a winning record? A Tulsa team that, sure, they haven't won their last 2 games in a row, but they covered against a good Memphis and decent East Carolina team. Charlotte was absolutely, down bad until their last game where they pulled out a crazy outright win against FAU. Does Charlotte have their swagger back, Or is that why this spread is this fat, Javon, because they're coming off that crazy outright win against a Final Four team from last season?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a little line respect from that win, which that was a pretty impressive win at that. But I don't know. I do think Charlotte against a pretty, I don't want to say one-dimensional team because they have like a couple guys that can do it. But if you look at Tulsa, it's really maximum you're getting like great games from two guards. I mean, the front court play has been pretty piss poor for them all season. So it's really just been PJ Haggerty, TCU legend, and Kobe Williams giving them scoring like on any given day. So like Charlotte's a very good defensive team. And if they're going to slow the tempo down and make Tulsa really play in the half court, not that those guys are going to be eliminated necessarily, but it's a little harder for Tulsa to play their game, which is why Tulsa, anytime they've gotten into like these slugfest against these teams like that, they haven't looked very good at all. It's like the only semi-impressive performances that they've had like all season is against like Memphis and against a lot of the teams in like early non-con where they can run, where they really didn't play anybody. So like last game they played ECU, who slowed them down and they scored 57 points. And it was a rough game for them. So I do think Charlotte's going to make it pretty uncomfortable. I don't know if I want to lay the 7.5 because I do think it's going to be a lower scoring game, but could probably sign me up for an under.
Okay. I lean Charlotte on the spread, but I'm not going to get to the counter. All right. Let's scroll through a couple of these next games unless Javon's got any whales.
I don't.
Okay. We'll get a move on here. Wright State and Robert Morris, the game of the night. No thanks. East Carolina Temples. I'll take a peep at that game real quick. East Carolina got out to a really hot start this season. They're still 8-7, same record as Temple right now, but ECU has come back down to earth a little bit after a great start. They did get a nice little win against Tulsa in their last game, like I talked about. Temple on the other side is coming off of an impressive outright win as a +1.5 dog against a pretty solid Wichita State team, but they were at home. They're home again today, though. Temple owns ECU. ECU hasn't beaten them the last 4 times they've played. The spread is at 1.5. I feel like it's a little bit short, maybe. And coming down from 2.5 to 1.5, I probably would lean the ECU Pirates here on the road. It's a rare road play for me. Don't know if I'm going to get to the counter yet, but very interesting to see that spread getting cut in half here.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of like ECU on the road, and
Same.
they, I think they're a little too physical for Temple. Temple's really soft. Like anytime I watch them play against a team that's going to beat them up, like it's not a very good free-flowing offense. It's really just, again, they're kind of like Tulsa. It's just Heisner Miller and everybody else and not much going on in the front court. So, like, ECU on the road today, the one thing that does travel on the road is defense. So I could see a big physical game, again, where ECU comes out on top.
Okay. Yep, give me the Pirates. They've impressed me at least minimally this year. And after coming off of not their greatest last 2 or 3 weeks of basketball, they bounce back and get a road win here outright as short dogs. I'm with you. Nothing in these next two. It is worth noting that High Point is kind of a wagon this year.
Yeah,
High Point is kind of good. High Point gives me vibes a little bit of Queens from last year. This team likes to run. This team likes to score. They put up so many fucking points. They're a covering machine. They are 12-2-1 ATS this season, and they are home tonight against a UNC Asheville team who's also playing really good basketball right now. They've also been a covering machine over the last month, and they've won 4 of the last 5 games as well. High Point, very impressive. This is probably their toughest challenge yet. They've got a star coming in from Asheville that's going to give it his all against this High Point team, but that spread is up from 5.5 to 6.5. I think High Point gets it done here. That total is down 2 points, though, which scares me a little bit because I feel like if Asheville wants to win or cover this game, it's going to have to go under, and the opposite could be said for High Point and over in their cover. But the spread is getting fatter for High Point, and the total's coming down. So that's probably a stale spot for me, but definitely lean High Point here. Some serious respect for those boys at home here against a good Asheville team.
Yeah, I mean, they should get respect, not just because they've been wagons, period, but they're undefeated at home. So, like, even with that, I mean, like you said, it's probably their toughest test. I was a little surprised to see a little bit of a move their way up to 6.5 against a Asheville team that I guess one of the more notable teams in that conference. Everybody knows. Everybody is a little familiar with their run in the tournament. Not run, but appearance. And Drew Pember, also really good. So I was a little surprised. I wouldn't go fading High Point today.
Okay. I'm with you. W's. Yeah, should we go to Dub Club, guys, and start selling these picks like every single other person in this entire space after we go on a nice little 1 week streak, or should we keep giving these out for free and vibing with you guys in chat? You guys pick. What do you want to do?
I'm setting Dub Club up right now.
W's. Good
There we
job,
go.
Gates. Good
BTO
work.
Dub Club.
W Goods. Chat, we will never do that. And I hope you know that we are built different and we are the only people that will not do that. So give us some fucking respect and let's get back to the fucking lab. Okay. Kennesaw State against Stetson. Javon, I lean Kennesaw State. Not in a rush to bet a team that made a tournament last year out of nowhere. They still have some hype around them. Those are never teams I want to bet, but they haven't covered their last 3 games. They barely beat Queens, didn't cover there in their last contest. Stetson has been on fire low key recently. They've won 4 or 5. They've been a covering machine this year, 8-5 ATS. Honestly, an impressive squad, 10-6, better record, or same record as Kennesaw State. But I like Kennesaw State and the Owls here at home. I thought this number would be a little bit shorter, and it's actually moved up 2 points from that opener at 2.5, which I thought was more right, but 4.5 seems a little fat for how even these teams are. And you could even make an argument that Stetson's been playing a little bit better recently. I think Kennesaw gets a big-time win here at home. It's probably going to be sweaty. Does it give me Cincinnati vibes at that minus 4.5? Sure, it does. But gun to my head, I lean Kennesaw State on the spread.
Yeah, so I did talk about this, which at Kennesaw State is very obviously not Houston, but one of the reasons why I faded back in non-conference Stetson's team total against Houston is because they're a very heavy jump shooting teams. Like they don't get to the rim very often, which this is a completely different game because this is a 160 total game. But the one thing Kennesaw's defense is really good at taking away is the 3. So like I think that's going to make Stetson really uncomfortable, especially on the road. So maybe the line is a little fat and probably for a reason. Like I think Stetson's not going to go out there and score 48 points like they did against Houston, but maybe they get blitzed out of the gate. I wouldn't mind this is a Kennesaw State first half play, not because I don't trust them in the first half, but kind of like Wake yesterday. I thought there was a kind of a matchup reason for them to get blitzed kind of out of the gate and look very uncomfortable. And maybe with the amount of points at least expected in this game, they bounce back eventually.
Okay. We got a sub bang from Alex Meehan, 55. Sure, 5 months. My lucky number. Good vibes. A lot of 5s. St. Joseph's spread tonight, boys. The Hawk will never die, Alex. I'll be rooting for you, my man. I'll be rooting for you. Okay? Crabs, you have nothing to do with Squad Ride. We vote. Okay, Pega. That makes sense. Let's move. Let's groove. Okay? Pega, where do those options come from for those plays? Do I run like a lottery, like NBA draft system? We just pick random plays? Or do me and Javon work our asses off to find you guys winners and then you guys pick the right one? Is it the first one or the second one? Let me know. All right. Let's move. Let's groove. I don't want to bet any of these shit games. Scroll. Go. Colgate. Let's talk about this Colgate team for a second, because Colgate is literally the dynasty that nobody talks about in college basketball, and maybe it's starting to come to an end before anybody even knows it. This Colgate team makes the tournament and is dominant every fucking season and wins the Patriot League, but now they're 8-7. Sure, they got out to, not the greatest start ever, playing some better teams, not in conference, taking some L's like to Illinois, to Iona, I guess you can make the argument, but losing games to Cornell, and even that Iona game, that's a game that this Colgate team would win, typically in recent years. Is Colgate dead? Because they've got their hands full with a Lafayette team coming off of 2 straight wins, looking like they're getting their swagger back a little bit here, and that spreads down from 13.5 to 12.5, Javon.
It is coming down, which is interesting, but I mean, that total is crazy. Do you know off the top of your head? Because I know you're a little more tapped into probably Colgate basketball than I am. But when's the last time you've seen a total that low in a Colgate game?
Colgate shoots the living shit out of the basketball. Now, like I said, this is a different Colgate team. If you look at a lot of their losses this year, Javon, like they have not put up dick. Points-wise. Like, they have not done shit. They've put up 50 pieces in some of these games. It's not the same Colgate team, but if you look at their wins, I mean, they're still doing the same shit, putting up 80 pieces. So, weird to see this total that low if that's what you're hinting at. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, especially like Lafayette. I mean, they're coming off of 2 straight wins, but prior to last week, is they're one of the teams that didn't have a D1 win or had one win like super early in the non-conference season. So, like, I mean, this game is weird, especially because not only is Lafayette ass, but they're one of like the worst 33-point defenses in the country. And like Colgate, even though it's not the Colgate of the last couple of years, they're still primarily built on 3-point shooting. So something screams off with this game. It's not like this is just like it's not even like a low total, like we're sitting like high 130s. Like it's borderline touching 120s coming down.
It's also worth noting, I bet Lafayette against Army. They won 52-47 2 games ago for their first D1 win of the season, by the way, Javon. So you're right. That was the worst game of basketball. I thought I was watching my high school team play. Their offense was inept. They still somehow found a way to win because Army was somehow worse. Javon, this Lafayette team, their offense might just be that bad to why this total looks weirdly low. Straight up. Like they are that bad.
Yeah, and I mean I'm still kind of leaning Colgate a little bit here. It's just that total is shocking to me. Not to say that I expect Lafayette to come out and be the Warriors every game just because they got 2 straight wins finally, but man, I mean this screams like a 60-40 game, which is definitely within Lafayette's wheelhouse. I think they've done it before, but man, I expected a little something. No, I was just going to say I expected a little something more if Colgate was going to have this big. I can't even say bounce back game because they've put up 80 points in their last couple of games. But a little better of like a performance from Colgate. I would have expected higher 130s at the very least.
Does this game remind you a little bit like Bama yesterday? That Bama spread against South Carolina? It reminds me a little bit about that. I know South Carolina obviously off to a way better start to the season than Lafayette is in this comp, but I don't think South Carolina is very good, and I think they showed that last night when they put up 20 points in that game. I kind of want to take the team total under here for Lafayette and just back a Colgate team that's obviously not playing their best basketball this season, so they're not going to be fat, happy, and complacent here at home, and they have probably noticed that Lafayette's coming off of 2 straight wins. I'm sure their coaches at least mentioned that once. I don't think they'll get caught sleeping here. Maybe it is a Colgate spread, or maybe even take it one step further like I did last night with that South Carolina team total under that was the freest bet on earth. And you take that Lafayette team total under if they even have those bets up on the books.
Yeah, I would have no problem with doing that. I think you're right with me on that one.
Yep. All right, Dubs, keep moving and grooving. We can't spend 10 hours on Lafayette Colgates. Keep scrolling, Goots. I want to see some better games, brother, unless Javon stops you. Actually, God damn it, we got to stop at Boston University and American. Sorry, Goots. Boston University is a must-play today, folks. It is what it is. I'm not happy about it. I remember on the surgical stream a week and a half ago, Boston was a very popular public play. They definitely did not win or cover that game. Well, now we're here, and they're playing an American team who is on fire, ATS, an American team that just keeps winning and covering, a team that has taken a lot of my coins since last season. I will say, I do have to put that out there. This team takes my coins, okay? But I'm going back to the well one more time, and I'm fading those mubs, and I'm backing a Boston team who absolutely stinks. But they're 5-10 on the ML this year. That's their record. They're 4-10 ATS, so they must have a D2 game in there as well. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They just lost to Lafayette, like we were just talking about. They lost to Lafayette, who might be the worst team I've ever seen with my eyeballs this year in college basketball.
Yeah.
And they're playing an American team coming off of 3 straight wins to UMBC, Lehigh, and Bucknell. And you're telling me Boston flipped from +1.5 to -1.5? Give me Boston University at home. They get a win against American today.
Yeah, kind of. And that line is nasty and looks pretty telling. So I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in there.
Line play, King Drag. Line play. Take that line flip. We're back in Boston today. What are they, the Terriers? Back in the Boston Terriers today. Crabs, you haven't watched IUPUI then. IUPUI is actually better this season. They're a little bit better. They're not good, but they're a little better. All right. I lean Queens, but that might be a little biased, so we're not going to spend time on that. All right, we'll look at Sam Houston only because somebody in chat made a funny joke, so we'll look at the game. Javon, any place? Should I go put the jersey on?
You might have to go put the jersey on. I don't have any plays in it, but I'm interested to see what a little sell job from anybody in chat, whoever brought it up.
Western Kentucky's on fire. Right, Western Kentucky has won a bazillion games in a row. They're 12-3. The Hilltoppers are doing their thing right now. They're doing what they're doing what the Western Kentucky football team could never do, and that was actually play up to their potential this season. Sam Houston State, on the other hand, sure, they're coming off an outright win against Louisiana Tech, impressive as +6.5 dogs. But this team's not been playing great this season. They're 8-8 on the year, and the spread's moving Sam Houston's way against Western Kentucky, who's 12-3. God damn, maybe it is Sam Houston at home. Oh no, we might have to take them.
Yeah, I'll leave that to you. I'll leave that to you. But I totally understand the play. I have nothing against it.
That's just a crazy line. That's a crazy line.
It is.
It really is.
I would have loved if Sam Houston didn't beat Louisiana Tech, which is a big game for them. But yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
And yeah, Chad, we are getting closer to a mega card. I gotta be careful. Gosh, man. I mean, and look, the total in this game is up 5 points too from the opener. Sam Houston State's been an over wagon this year. Western Kentucky's been an under wagon this year. Maybe we see an over and a Sam Houston State absolute splooge fest today at home. I kind of want to bet them for the vibes.
I can see that. I'm in.
All right. But I will actually hate their guts if they lose and I bet them. So I have to figure out if it's worth the risk. TBD, chat.
Fair.
Not in a rush to get to the window there. But North Carolina, NC State, Javon, I think you're in a rush to get to the window with a play in that game. Let me know.
Yeah. Be taking NC State and the Wolfpack at home, which
sure.
I love the spot because, first of all, this is not just your average, short home dog against North Carolina, which we've seen a couple of times. Or I guess Clemson was a favorite at home. But this is their third straight road game, which they don't have to go very far for this one compared to the others. But nevertheless, third straight game on the road for North Carolina before eventually coming home for a couple home games in ACC play. And when you look at the couple of the games that they've had last time's out between Pitt and Clemson, you got to look at why they won those games. Because frankly, for Pitt, you can point to a single person of why North Carolina won that game. And it was Blake Hinson, because he was probably the worst basketball player I'd ever seen take the court in that game. I believe he finished 3 of 13 or 2 of 13 from 3 and even worse from the field. He was bad, and the shot selection was terrible. They turned the ball over a shit ton towards the end of that game. A lot of easy transition points for UNC in that second half where they pulled away. And then Clemson game, like we just talked about a little earlier, Clemson shot 1 of 18 from 3. PJ Hall foul trouble. Joe Girard foul trouble. And then Hall, I think, eventually fouled out of that game. So it all kind of fell apart both times in the second half. Now you get to play a North Carolina State team who their MO is not to turn the ball over, which – again, were big problems, partially because Clemson was on, guys in the second half that didn't belong getting those minutes. But Pitt, they had real problems. So, NC State is going to take care of the ball. Their one kind of downfall in this game would be rebounding, but they're also a better three-point shooting team. And they're at home where their shooting splits are very dramatic than those other two teams that they had just played the last 2 games. So I think this is a really good spot. DJ Burns is going to hang with Baycott. I don't know if it's going to be too consistent. You got to hope he stays out of foul trouble too. But on the perimeter, I love the way that NC State matches up, especially if they're taking care of the ball like they have all season. So give me NC State finally breaking it home here.
Be more. I will be careful, but I need you to be careful too because this might surprise you. But NC State actually doesn't really like UNC very much either because they're rivals.
Rivalries usually go both ways.
Morrow, I'm sorry, man. I'm a really sarcastic and at times pretty blunt person, and I'm really holding back trying to roast you and absolutely stuffing you in a locker right now, brother, out of respect, because you're in here every day. You're my guy, B. Morrow, but it's chats like that just make me want to do a backflip right now on stream and just end it. Gosh, man. It's every team playing basketball today doesn't like the other fucking team. It's their opponents. Especially UNC and NC State. North Carolina State, North Carolina State, UNC, NC State. Oh, holy smokes. It is all love, B. Morrow. It is all love. Okay, and you better be in here tomorrow. We're not even steaming. We're geeking. Okay, goodness gracious. Let's move. All right. Give me NC State. I am with you. Give me the points. They play very well against North Carolina, and they don't like them. They're going to want to beat them.
Yeah.
Sure.
There you go.
Memphis place. Anything there?
No, probably not. UTSA is perfectly they're a team that Memphis wants to play. So undisciplined, don't play defense, horrible transition D. So on paper, they should probably steam them. I wouldn't be surprised if this just hangs around the line for the entire game, though.
Okay. Real quick, I want to talk through this Evansville and Bradley game because that line is fat as Mima. Evansville is coming off with 3 losses though in a row, Javon. So I got to state that. And Bradley is getting their swagger back. And if we just think and look at these two teams, Javon, we know Bradley's a wagon. We know Evansville stinks. I still cannot believe they're sitting at 10-5, even after 3 straight losses. Thank God they're coming back down to earth and playing the basketball that they should be. And Bradley does absolutely own Evansville, Javon. Every time they play them, they cover, they win. It's not even close. It's ugly. That's probably another reason why the spread is so fucking fat. But the splits are sharp. The spreads move 2 points towards Bradley. And I still am thinking about laying it with them on that minus 13.5. Thoughts?
Can't fault you for it. I think I don't know. It's an interesting one because in my head, like I know Evansville is not very good. And I feel like the market is kind of figuring that out now with the lines that we've set for them the last couple of games. So like I don't think the line's too weird, but I do think that Bradley is probably going to beat the shit out of them. So I have absolutely zero problem with the play.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I can already tell I'm probably not going to get to the window with this play, but it's worth noting and talking about that spread because it's ginormous and it's moving towards Bradley. If it moves anymore, I will reconsider, but the fact that Bradley is good and owns Evansville and has won 3 in a row and is back on track, and Evansville has lost 3 in a row and done the exact opposite things that I just said about Bradley is probably going to keep me off. Okay. I just know Krabs be getting heated as boys at the casino. See, again, I'm a contrarian at heart. I'm like the most laid-back guy in the casino. I'm like the quietest, most laid-back guy in that puppy. I'll go off on my own. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not talking. I'm not causing issues. I'm not causing any ruckuses. That's just the contrarian in me, man. You'd expect me to be a problem, but no. Tread carefully, Krabs. I heard Bradley doesn't like Evansville. Shit, Cole, no.
Yeah, move on.
All right, we got to let that one go, folks. We got to let that one go, folks. All right? Let my guy live in chat, okay? Indiana State Drake, honestly, a really good game. Thoughts real quick before we move? I have no play.
Yeah, this seems to be the random mid-major Twitter popular play of the day on Drake, which I don't know if I'm going to necessarily get to the counter and fading that with Indiana State, but it's such an obvious buy low spot for Drake coming off a couple losses, and now you have a big game where they're at home. Seems like a borderline easiest play on the board, taking them. So I'm good off of that, but just had to let you know.
I mean, you know, I'm a Tucker DeVries guy. I have been for the last 2 years since we met. I've been talking about Tucker DeVries. Does not mean I'm sprinting to the counter to bet Drake, and after your comments, I am most certainly not. But I will say I do lean Drake. I hate to say it coming off that loss, but zero fucking chance I'm betting if you're telling me it's a Twitter POD. Thank you.
It is for sure a Twitter POD. Yeah, unfortunately.
Thank you. All right. Murray State, Missouri State. I lean Missouri State. Nothing crazy there. UNI and UIC. Sorry, Goots. Up 2. I lean UNI. That's a large spread, but probably not going to play it because UIC, again, kind of like that Bradley-Evansville angle. They're just not that guy. But they got off to a little bit of a better start this season. So that spread, although it looks fat, it's probably that fat for a reason.
Probably. Yeah. I got nothing there. But
all right. I want to take Xavier. We could talk about this game for a second. Shocker. We talked about wanting to fade UConn down the stretch with no Klingon. Is there a better matchup to fade UConn tonight than back in the Xavier team that's big, tough, physical, gritty at home against a UConn team without their big guy? I don't know. Even their fucking guards are big and gritty and go to the rack, and they're not the best shooters. I don't know. Davion McCullum is a fucking stud. He's going to go off tonight. We're going to talk about him in a little bit too when we get to the prize picks, but I'm taking Xavier in this spot. Like I talked about, I'm going to be fading UConn down the stretch with you, Javon, until I see some green. We haven't gotten the green yet because UConn doesn't care what's sharp or what's not. They just keep fucking winning and covering without their big. But I think that comes to an end when they hit the roads at Xavier, one of the toughest places to play in the country. A Xavier team that, by the way, has UConn's number. They've beaten them 3 of the last 4 times they've played, including even last year where they beat them when UConn went on to win the Natty. So Xavier knows how to beat UConn, kind of like we talked about Nebraska, just knowing how to beat Purdue. It's a great spot for Xavier and their big physical tough team to get a win against a UConn team that keeps getting dubs and covers without their star.
Yeah, so I told you when we were talking about, I guess, Big East and UConn stuff, it might turn out to be another mega card day. But I was looking to fade UConn in one of the 2 road games between Butler and Xavier. And once you got to Butler Day, I was very against doing it, and I didn't do it. So now we have a spot that I like a little more. That wasn't a shot at the Butler play, but yeah, today I want to do it because not many times can you go into a team like UConn playing on the road at Xavier and now say you think you're going to be a little more physical and actually contend on the glass with or without Klingon. And now you're without Klingon, and you also have veteran guard play with Davion McKnight back there, and then Quincy Oliveri too. You can do his thing today too. I think they're going to take care of the ball. I think they're going to attack the rim a little better than a lot of the teams UConn has played recently or were able to do, which is huge because you want to attack the heart of the defense where it's kind of at its weakest point without Klingon now. So I think this is a pretty good matchup. So I think they fall on the road here, and I don't know if I want to continue fading them because there's not many good basketball matchups before Klingon returns other than like the big obvious ranked games, but this one definitely keying in on a little bit.
Yep. And prayers up for whatever the heck is going on or happened down there after that Bills and Miami game. People need to fucking chill out, dude. People need to chill out. You got people bringing families, kids to games, bro. Put the fucking guns away and watch the football games. I'm tired of this shit. You're going to ruin it. All right? Prayers up for whoever was affected. That is bullshit. Let's move to Wisconsin and Ohio State. No, it's not. Be safe out there, guys, always, wherever you're going. Seriously, all right? Wisconsin, Ohio State. I'm going to go back to the Buckeyes here. I just think it's that Buckeyes season. We've seen the Buckeyes year in, year out. And Javon, I'll be honest, I didn't think I had much stamina left in me to back this fucking shit basketball program one more time this year and give them another chance. But I did, and I'm pretty happy with my decision, although they are coming off a loss, I believe. Ohio State is 12-3. And could it finally be the year we see Zed Key and co., who, by the way, is kind of taking a back seat on the squad, which is a good sign because the other guys on the team are just better. Are they finally going to do something? Now, they're coming off a loss at Indiana. Sure, they lost at Assembly Hall. So would any other fucking team in college basketball. It doesn't matter. They haven't covered 3 straight games in a row after being a wagon to start the year. You look over what Wisconsin's doing. They've been on fire, too. They're taking care of business. All reliable, Wall and Crowell, 2 crafty, savvy veterans who are taking care of biz. And they're even getting wins against pretty solid teams like Nebraska, who we just saw beat Zach Edey. But all those games, all those wins on that 4-game win streak, Javon, were all at home. And we know the Badgers love playing at home. Now they got to go travel to play at Ohio State. Give me the Buckeyes. The line's moving towards them. It's an unranked team, right? That system that hasn't been working as well this year, but it's going to start to pick up the pace and start to cash for us guys. You have to bet this spot responsibly. Every time it pops up, Ohio State, unranked team, as a favorite against a ranked team on the road, have to responsibly bet Ohio State for a unit. And I might have to up it up to 2 because I love the Buckeyes in the spot.
Yeah, I do like Ohio State. I don't know if I'm confident enough to go the counter with them, but the thing is, like, if you look at the numbers, which I was diving into a little bit for, I guess, the Florida game that we'll talk about in a second, I saw somebody up there too, or down there. That was a little surprising. Wisconsin, not very great at defending the rim, and Ohio State attacks it quite a bit. And Wisconsin's been playing a couple teams like Nebraska, like Iowa, and like a lot of the teams they played towards the end of their non-conference, not named Arizona. They don't really go to the rim. So, like, they're definitely susceptible to a little bit of 2-point defense there. So I think Ohio State's going to have a pretty good matchup to attack that. So I do like Ohio State a little bit. Maybe convince me.
Okay, good. It's got to be the Buckeyes. It's got to be. Gosh, who's their coach? Hoiberg, who everyone thinks is the worst coach ever and has been dragging this guy for the last 2 years. I mean, you don't think he hears these chirps? It's not like he's 80 years old. I'm sure he's got Twitters up on his phone. I'm sure he sees all the chirps. It's the Hoiberg Legacy Tour is what it is this season, and he's putting on a fucking clinic. The Buckeyes are locked in right now and coming off a loss in 3 straight games where they didn't cover. They're going to flip the script and get a big-time outright win against a ranked team at home tonight against Wisconsin. Chat, responsibly bet that system every time, and you make coins. Eileen Troy against Louisiana Lafayette and the Raging Cajuns, but I don't love it. Not going to get to the counter there. And like our guy Mushington, what's up, Mush, is saying in chat, I also have to hear what Javon Deeb has to say about the Oklahoma and TCU game. We are all listening and very eager to hear what you got.
I think TCU's fake sharp today. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I'm taking the Sooners. I don't know if I have the heart for that. But here's the problem. with this specifically. Like I do think I think my favorite play in this game is the under, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of it has to do with Oklahoma, what they're going to make TCU do. They're going to funnel them to the basket, and they're going to have a lot of open looks from three. Like Oklahoma is not great at defending the three. So TCU, you know what they're going to do very, very early in this game, and I've seen it time and time again when they play these teams that give them open looks, they're going to shoot. And you know what the problem is? They can't shoot. So you're going to have guys like Micah Peavy and Jameer Nelson's been bad from three. Really, nobody's been good from three except Emmanuel Miller, who has a 3 square on the board, and I would love to take that today if we're going to back TCU. But really, other than the splash game from Trey Tennyson that they had last week against Kansas, or this past weekend against Kansas, there's no consistent 3-point shooting attack. So early in this game, this is how I see it going. Oklahoma's going to give them plenty of looks from three. TCU's not going to hit them, and then they're going to be playing from behind the entire game and kind of struggling to get stuff together offensively after they finally say, hey, we can't shoot now this game, even though we're getting open looks. Let's run some action to get funneled, to the rim with Jameer Nelson and with a couple of guys. Now, the X factor kind of here is Jacoby Coles because he's their stretch four who didn't play against Kansas. He's questionable tonight. If he plays, I might feel a little better about TCU's chances tonight because he's a big addition to stretch the floor and shoot from three. But I don't know that I love it with TCU today. I think this is going to be a little more of a slugfest than we've seen with, I guess, both these teams a little bit lately. So, I mean, that total coming down, I think, is pretty indicative of that. So I wouldn't mind an under here, but not taking the Frogs.
Okay. I will take them for you, respectfully. All right.
Yeah.
Do not love hearing anything you just said. I'll be honest with you. I hated every second of it, and I don't disagree with anything you said, but it could be the fake sharp spot at -4.5, just like what we saw yesterday with Cincinnati, although Texas, I mean, give me a fucking break. What are the odds all those shots go in the game? But it could be very similar. Is it as popular as some of these other plays today that you've been seeing? Is it as popular as Drake? Is it around? Are people giving TCU a chance today? Is it too easy?
Yeah, it seems a little popular. I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, well,
I could so easily see a win and no cover for TCU.
And you know what? That might just be okay because I was just about to say TBD on if I lay spread or ML parlay it with if I can find another grease piece. Because last night I thought about doing it with Cincy. I didn't because I had people hit me up saying Cincy nuclear missile whale play of the millennium. Take this fucking play from all the sharps. Should have known right then when all the sharps were colluding on that play that it was absolute cake. But yeah, I think I might have to moneyline parlay TCU with something here. I don't see a world how I can sleep at night tonight not having coins on your Horned Frogs against a 9th-ranked 13-1 Oklahoma team who's +4.5. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to sleep tonight.
Yeah,
I'll bet it for you.
That. I can respect it. I will say it's like these games either go one of two ways. Either somebody gets the shit kicked out of them or it goes down to the final shot. And lately, the last couple of games have been shit pumpings. So I don't know. Last time I remember TCU was last year, same spread at home, and they beat them by 27. So hoping for the same thing today.
I'm going to say it before and I'll say it again. Oklahoma is that cursed green book -112 odds on the spread. We'll see how long they hold there, but I'll tell you what, chat, as a guy who uses these shit legal books, whenever I see that -112 on this green geyser, it's never good. I don't know what it is. I think they're just stealing more coins from you, but it's not a good sign. That's a good sign for your Frogs tonight as of right now, Javon, but there's a lot of time left still. Okay. And it is interesting that they're up to 5 too. Good sign.
Yeah.
Good sign. Are you going to be fading your Frogs tonight with real coins?
Nah, I don't have the heart to do that because I still kind of think they win. It's a scary spot. I especially hate that now that it's at 5, it's the exact same spread as last year's game in Fort Worth where they won by almost 30. Like that scares the shit out of me.
Okay. That's fair. Misty Krabs and Javon, W. Sammys, welcome back, Beast. Make sure you guys share the live with your buddies. Tell them that we are on a 7-0 squad ride win streak. Knock on woods and get them involved, and they will thank you for giving them the best sports betting stream during the day to watch. We got Gaucho 6'9" coming in with a bang. W's Gaucho. Love to see you in here. 10 months. W's. All right, Marquette Butler. Anything there?
Nothing for me there. I think it's
All right, cut
Marquette,
the
but
shit.
I'm going to leave that.
Cut the shit, dude. I don't even want to hear about Marquette. Don't even fucking say it anymore. Just go to Florida's.
Yes. They're winning
Yes.
this game. They're winning this game. I honestly feel
Yes.
more confident about this than we've had for nearly any Florida spot this season. And I've been looking forward to this once they got into SEC play. And I'll explain why, because a lot of it's basketball brain. Really doesn't even have to do with the line, which them moving up to 2.5 on the road against Ole Miss, it's pretty, I guess, indicative, you could argue too. But Ole Miss, they're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. They're ranked 7th, but they only do it with the 70th least three-point point share, which, to put that in simple terms, they're very efficient at three-pointers, but they don't shoot very many of them. So, like, the problem that got exposed with them against Tennessee is really good. They're really good at everything defensively, but they're really good at defending the rim. They're really good two-point defense. So what does that do? When you can't get points at the rim, A, you're inefficient at getting points at the rim when you need them and you're really reliant on them. But B, you take threes and you're not very good at hitting them because the volume goes up. So it turns out you're more a slightly above average three-point team than, one of the best teams in the nation. So Florida, very, very similar. Really good rim defense. Micah Hanlogten and Tyrese Samuel, absolutely elite down low, but their three-point defense is not good. So, like, you could say that you look on a pretty baseline level and you say, okay, terrible three-point defense for Florida, one of the best three-point attacks for Ole Miss in the country. So Ole Miss should shred them, right? No, not exactly, because once they get more open looks and more shots, period, more volume, those numbers are going to start to dip towards the median. So, like, today, you're going to see a lot of three-pointers from Ole Miss. And once you see those numbers are going to look awfully normal by the end of the game. And especially when they're not going to be getting points at the rim, because Tyrese Samuel is going to lock down, super versatile defender. And Micah Hanlogten, if he can stay out of foul trouble, going to be really good at the rim too. It's going to be a struggle. Like, they've played 2 top 50 two-point defenses in their entire season so far. One of them was Tennessee, where they got embarrassed, and one of them was UCF, where they won by 2 on the road, didn't cover that game, and the only reason they won that game is because they went to the free-throw line 34 times, which is not going to happen against Florida. So this is a really good basketball matchup for Florida. I love the line too, and offensively, nobody's stopping anything that Florida's going to do because they can just rim run all day. That team, like Ole Miss, can't handle a pick and roll to save their lives, so they're going to get driven on by really anybody you want. Like Walter Clayton can do it if he's feeling it. Zion Pullen can drive to the rim, which that's really all he can do because he's having trouble shooting. So good matchup for him. They can do it all today. So, like, I love the Gators.
I would love to see Zion Pullen breakout game. He's been teasing.
He's been an elite driver, but the only thing that's kind of making it half and half is he can't shoot right now at all.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to be the same guy he was on UC Riverside because he shot the ball 70 times a game when he was out there, right? Dude, I'll be honest. I'm going to be straight with you and tell you if I like plays or don't. I am scared about this game. I have a weird feeling in my belly about this Ole Miss team in this spot, opening up +1 to a Florida team who's 36 at KenPom compared to Ole Miss, who is not respected at all, sitting all the way back at 83 as they should because they're not good. I'm a little bit worried. I'll be honest with you, Javon, and I don't want to burst your bubble or ruin your fucking day. Still trust your gut and lock in your favorite plays of the day, but I'm a little sketched by Florida. Now, I see smart people on Florida's. I know Ole Miss is the luckiest, most fraudulent team in college basketball, at least the most fraudulent one-loss team in college basketball easily. Give me a break. They should be 500 with this team if you've actually watched them play. It worries me a little bit. I thought Florida would be like 4.5-point favorites here on the road, just by looking at what they're at on KenPom. And I know Ole Miss only has 1 loss, but it's not like Ole Miss has been getting line respect at all this season. Why are they getting it here a little bit? I don't know. They are home, so it's like, what are you going to do? Make them +5.5? No.
I mean, they're 9-0 at home this season. So I mean, I don't know how much line respect you can give the Gators in that instance.
KenPom, Ole Miss #1 in luck. Oh yeah, Jacob. Oh yeah, and they also have the weakest strength of schedule ever. I know, and they also have a bazillion lucky ass wins.
If Ole Miss was like a little better defensively, I would feel a little scared because I mean, like when we get to the nitty gritty of like the end of these games, that's where Florida struggled to put up points, but they're not. So like as long as Florida can get to the rim at ease, which they should, I think we're going to see an Ole Miss team who's been very lucky in a lot of different ways, but especially very fortunate from the three-point department. They're going to be relying on those to win these games, and I don't think you're getting that.
Looks like Florida hasn't won a game on the road this season, chat's saying, chirping me. Guys, they played one road game.
Yeah, they played on the road once.
Played one road game. Okay, and it was a game that they should have won at Kentucky. Or actually, that was a home game. Apologies.
Yeah, it was a home game.
It was actually at Michigan. And they won that game, didn't they?
No, not that. That was the Jordan Classic. So that was neutral sites.
Neutrals. Okay. But yeah, they've only played one road game. Javon, look, man.
Wake.
If you're putting If you're putting meat on tape for Florida's, I'm not confident enough to lay with Ole Miss at all. So we can end up putting that in the squad ride if it's the PODs, and we will move. I just have a weird feeling in my belly. Maybe it's just that Florida hurt me, and they've been hurting me the last week or so. Maybe it's that Ole Miss gives me PTSD a little bit, Miami vibes kind of. That could be it. That could be it. But I don't know. I just thought it was weird seeing Ole Miss open up +1.5. Maybe I'm being too sharp line reading off the rip, and I need to put my square cap back on. It's an Ole Miss team at home who has not lost yet. They're 9-0. They're 13-1. Playing a Florida team who's coming off a loss as well, who has 3 more losses than them. What are they going to do? Make them a fucking 5-point dog at home? No.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. All right. Let's finish up. I think there's a couple more late night Geysermans. Goods. I believe Arkansas is a dog to Georgia. Didn't think I'd be saying that at this point in the season, Javon. Crazy. But that's what happens when you put up 51 points against an actual good team in Auburn. Georgia's on fire recently. Are you catching the fallen knife with the Razorbacks and the Must Bus, or are you going to sit back and watch the show?
Sit back and watch it because gut really tells me Arkansas in this game, and it's a fake sharp spot for Georgia. Just because nobody really wants to bet on Arkansas right now. I mean, they just got absolutely pummeled. They've looked terrible. I guess Mikey wants to bet on Arkansas, so he might be there. He might be in the right there. But like Arkansas, nobody wants to bet on them right now. They look like shit. They're out of sorts. Not to say this Georgia team's super, super impressive, but I mean, for the casual bettor, they might look impressive because they've been putting together performances against pretty, bottom of the barrel SEC teams to open play. So they've been all right. Like, I think this is going to be a close game, really, no matter what. But I can't get to the counter with Georgia. My gut tells me that we see an Arkansas bounce back game, which they need very badly because they have a big stretch of games coming up. Starting, they're going to Gainesville this week.
Starts tonight.
So it really starts tonight before they have the meat and potatoes of their schedule coming up.
Yeah. I'm an Arkansas guy. I'm a Must Bus guy. So I'm very biased with this team, and I always think they're better than they are. So I try not to bet them that much because I find myself betting them too much overall. But I do like this spot with them. I like them every goddamn spot, though. But coming off that 51 piece that they put up against a good team in Auburn, I mean, God, man, they've got to turn it around. This team is stacked. They are stacked, and they have a top 5 coach in college basketball. I don't even care that they're on the road to a Georgia team that just keeps on winning. This Georgia team, similar to Ole Miss, one of the luckiest teams in college basketball, they're not as good as their record. I want to take Arkansas. I'm with Mikey, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the only thing that scares me in the slightest about Arkansas today, which is why I'm not on them, we're officially at, January 10th now, and this is their first true road game, which is scary for a team that's already been underperforming. So first true road game, who knows what the environment in Georgia is going to be like tonight, but they are also 9-0 at home, so that may cancel that out too. They're on their Ole Miss type shit, but I don't know. I don't want to get involved here. It's a scary game.
Jeff, every year he brings his fucking team to the tournament somehow, some way when their players are fucking around or they're losing games they shouldn't, and they end up going on a deeper run than they should. That tells me that he's a good coach. He's a good ass coach. The Must Bus. That team overperforms every single year. They had the last 3 seasons. Right now they're underperforming, but good thing there's still time. No, I know he's not. He's great. Top 5 might be a stretch. Fine. Top 5 might be a stretch. You guys know I'm a little dramatic. All right. BC and Syracuse. Anything here?
So, I was a little surprised to see Syracuse not at least getting like a 4.5, 5. I don't think I'm going to get there with BC trying to keep the tonsils out of too many games this week or today at least. But I was a little surprised for that. Might just be a square over in that game, though. Those are two teams that just can't defend the perimeter to save their lives. And got to hope Quentin Post absolutely feasts. He's like a rare matchup where he's probably going to be on a big who can also stretch the floor for a majority of the game. So you know what that means. If you have two bigs who can play the perimeter, they're going to rim run all fucking day in that game. It's like it's going to be a lot of 5 out. So that's square over. I would not mind that at all.
Square over. Maybe a Quentin Post more than on Prize Picks.
I don't even know that I would love Quentin Post today necessarily, because I think it's a good game to target the guards in that game.
Okay. All right. I got nothing in that one. A couple more late night Geysermans. Anything in Wazoo and USC, Javon, Bronny James, 6.5 points, more than or less than?
Probably less if it's up. Is it up?
It's up.
Oh boy,
it's up. She's up. Yep. Go ahead and add that to my card. Bronny, less than 6.5 points. I'm going to take it every single time, and I'm going to make money on it. All jokes aside, though.
I hate that he's coming off a 2-piece, though.
Dude. Yeah, I do too, but I'm just going to take it every time, and it's going to hit.
Yeah, that's fair.
USC up to 6.5, open up 5.5 against a better Wazoo team. Is that some respect for USC, or is that where they got to put the line?
I feel like USC is just like UCLA junior at this point. Obviously, like a better team, but they're just going to get respect against everybody in the Pac-12 just because.
Okay. So maybe even a Wazoo lean there.
Yeah, possibly.
All right. Can we get a specials check on PP? That first square for Crabs. Ooh. Stay calm. We have another game to go over. Stay calm. Stay calm. Colorado Cal, late night take me home piece, 11 p.m.s. Any plays in that game, Javon? Colorado open up -6.5. They're down to -4. They're probably going to lose outright. What do you think?
Nah, I think it's fake sharp, potentially.
Oh.
I'll tell you, though, because like I don't want to bet California. It seems very obvious. They just won outright at UCLA, and I want to bet on Cal for the first time in basketball history. And then Colorado just had a really, really disappointing performance against Arizona State, where they lost outright on the road. And now they're back in another road game, so I don't love to back them in that spot. I guess you could look at your little -112 system for this game, too, looking in the green book and see what Cal is. It's like I don't love – I'll tell you what I do love in this game. You know who plays center for Colorado?
Yeah, it's that piece of shit from TCU.
And you know who plays center for Cal?
Fardaz Amik.
He is going to eat his lunch on the inside. That's the only way that Cal is going to be able to stay in this game. Jalen Tyson is great. He takes shots when he needs to. Jalen Cohn's, I guess, been playing a little better too, and he can get his, but he is going to bitch Eddie Lampkin in this game. So, like, I'm probably going to take Fardal's PRA. I think that's at like 27.5. This is going to be like a 15-15 game for Fardal's.
This could be a good segue.
This could be a good segue, right, into some PP talk because let's hop into that.
Good. It's been a while since we've heard it. Run that shit, brother. 18.
Got to bring it.
18.
Sure. W is good. Great work. Sorry, I caught you off guard there, brother. Let's craft up a Prize Picks Geyserman on here, huh? It's been a while since we've done that, chat. It seems like you guys want it. Or should we just close the stream up right now and call it a day? What do you think, chat? Should we call it, throw in the towel? I could go for a snack, Javon. It's about granola bar time for me.
Sure.
Wrap it up, or we craft it up now? We put in the work now and get the help from chats, or we just do it later? What do we think? Hang them up. All right, let's hop in here, Javon. Now, do we want to touch on the NBA and NHL straight bets before we dive into crafting up the A team and the B team, or do we want to start piecing together the CBB plays, and then if we need any hockey cake or NBA cake, we go back to it?
I feel like maybe we touch on NBA at least first, just in case we have any squares in there.
We already ran the clip, man.
Yeah, we
don't have to run it again, dudes. Keep that thing close.
Got it.
Keep that thing close. Minnesota, Boston. Boston -9.5 NBA POD for me on the Bucks. Maybe we could target some sort of Celtics square, potentially. will be the only thing I have in the NBA tonight.
I was going to say, like, I think the C's beat the shit out of T-Wolves today, looking at that line. So, like, I don't know that I'd want to take squares in that game and get hooked by blowouts.
Okay. That is fair. That is fair. My response to that argument always is, well, how'd they get up and get that big lead in the first place? And they're going to put up those points. But yes, I agree.
Also true. Also true.
Maybe we stay off the goats because they'll be resting the fourth. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with that game specifically, I think it's the Celtics defensive masterclass. So, like, if we're going to take anything, I would love to fade T-Wolves players instead of back Celtics players.
Okay. Also, is anybody out for the T-Wolves today? I don't think so, chats.
Not thinking so, or didn't see
But
any,
it is
but
back-to-back. Right?
yeah, there could be some late news. Who knows?
Rudy Gobert's game time.
I was going to say, if he ends up playing, I would love to fade him. He just dropped 21 against the Magic and looked like the greatest center of all time, and a little bigger of a defensive test against the Celtics.
And Porzingis is out for Boston.
Yeah, it's like cancels out.
Huh.
I'm seeing Drew Holiday on injury management as well, so he might have limited minutes.
Well, that's the Celtics. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, that makes me like it more. W's. Good shit.
That spread.
That spread
with
is nuts.
Porzingis out.
Yes.
Fuck. Yeah. Crazy.
Too many chats.
Yeah,
yeah, I like the Celtics spread. When it comes to the Spurs and Detroit toilet bowl, I do like the Spurs. I don't know if I'm going to get to counter with them, but I do lean the Spurs and Wembanyama, who's been talking some shit recently. Maybe they start picking up a little bit. Look, these teams got to look themselves in the fucking mirror when they're going to play the Pistons and say, do we really want to leave Detroit with an out? Are you going to be able to sleep at night? I don't know. And Wembanyama is going to be the most talented player on that floor. The Pistons, nothing special. Both these teams are 1-9 in their last 10 games, the two worst teams in the NBA. But I'll take my chances with Wembanyama on the road as a minus 3.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Fuck that game, though. I don't want to get involved.
Okay. Any other NBA plays you like before we get your ice plays?
I like the over in the Hawks-Sixers game, which this is
Yeah.
very similar. And honestly, I should probably be on the Sixers, too. Very similar to that total with Jason Tatum out for the Celtics in the Pacers game that took a couple days ago. There's no Embiid in this game. And we've seen in the first two matchups, they had 242, 239 totals they ended at, not the total set in the game. And especially in that last game, Embiid had 38 and 14. So, like, huge part of that matchup, especially against that Hawks defense. So, like, now this one opened up like 242.5. Went up to 246, I believe, because there's Embiid in at that point. Now it came back down really to where it opened, then it started to move back up. So, like, now I'm staring at the total along with a line flip towards the 76ers because the Hawks, when you woke up this morning, were -1, -1.5 around there. The Sixers are favorites. So, like, I don't think there's going to be any loss of offense in this game. So, I mean, the obvious answer, I guess, would be a Tyrese Maxey splooge fest, which he's I've seen a couple tweets saying there's no chance that this is actually his points line today, even without Embiid. That's way, way too high because he's at like 32.5, 33 or something. And the Sixers have been bad. You know, they've looked pitiful these last couple of games, like especially, I think, offensively against the Jazz. Maybe the last game was they didn't even put up 110 points. So, like, to see this, I know the Hawks are also very, very ass defensively, just like the Pacers were in that spot against the Celtics. But this feels like a bit of a sign of respect for that total. This is going to be the one you're going to look up, and it's going to be 130, 130.
Okay. Love that play. That might be my favorite sell job from you of the day. Straight up in any sport. What'd you say?
I said, look at that. Moved up in front of our face from 243.5 back up to 244.
Sure. Let that puppy keep on cooking. All right. Yeah, give me points. Interesting seeing that line flip back to Philly being a favorite with Joel being out, although that line is still really short for Atlanta, and that's probably a good thing because we're going to be needing them to score to cash it over at 243.5. It keeps creeping up. W's.
Yep.
Splits look sharp as attack. 49% of bets, 87% of handle on that over. Love to see that as well. W's. Any other NBA cake?
No, not too many NBA cakes. I do kind of like the Thunder today, but we'll leave that to its side.
Okay. Hockey? What do you got? 3 games today. Nothing special.
Yeah, I don't think I got anything, to be honest with you.
Ooh.
It's kind of an ass slate. The Wild and the Stars are playing again in that game that I took the over 6 on, and it was 4-0. Rematch of that game that was 2 days ago. And now you have a little different of a goalie situation. Another debut for the season on the Wild side, so don't really know how to cap that. The Avs are minus 130 at home against a good team like they always are, and those games are coin flips. I will say the system play, it's always in the back of my head. Anytime there's a short slate and the Canadians are facing a team that's like minus 180, minus 200, they find a way to win and fuck up all the parlays literally every single time. It's like the Habs, I think, are kind of in a sneaky spot today, period, but they just somehow always do it on these short slates. But I don't have a play that I really love on the ice.
All right, but gun to your head, you're going back to that over?
No, gun to my head, I would take the Habs if I was taking a play out of the entire slate. But I hate that.
Gotcha. Okay. Sure. Go Habs, go. And yeah, Chad was pissed that you didn't talk about the Thunder and why you like them. So give them your sell job on the Thunder. I know we've seen a lot of SGA less thans today too. So what do you like about them?
Yeah, there's no real sell job necessarily. It's just I think this is a pretty tough spot for the Heat. Matchup wise too, the Thunder, there's a lot of SGA unders because they're really good on the ball against these point guards, and Eric Spoelstra schemes up very well. But what is that going to do? It's going to leave a lot of the shooters open for the Thunder. So Lou Dort is up again today, and we can talk about prize picks because that's probably a square that I want to target. He, for whatever reason, has a threes attempted square, which I think is weird today because it's also one of the lower numbers that you ever see. He has a 4.5. Usually the ones that are super weird are 6 or 6.5, 7, 7.5. Lou Dort laid a goose egg against the Wizards last time out. 0 threes, 0 for 3. Now you're coming up against the Heat team who's going to give him looks, but he has 3-point attempted square up, and the 1.5 square is also back up. So kind of that type of reasoning for a lot of the shooters, whether it's Dort, whether it ends up being Isaiah Joe, whether it's Casey Wallace, whether it's a lot of those guys, I think they're going to have a lot of open looks. So I don't think the Heat match up too well with the Thunder, and I think it's a tough spot for them too. So that's kind of why I like the Thunder.
Okay. Well, yeah. Perfect segue into some prize picks crafting. Why not? Goods. Run that intro for the first time today. Book it.
18.
All right, ladies and gents, let's craft up some Slippertons. Why not us? Do we start with Lou Dort? More than threes?
We could start with Lou Dort, yeah. He's taking 5.
3-point attempts. Is that A team or B team worthy? What do you think?
Maybe B team for now. We can see what else we come with.
Maybe he'll get pulled. Maybe he'll get pulled up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see
he
what
might get pulled for the A team.
He might.
Lou
He's
Dort,
borderline.
More than 4.5 3-pointers attempted. Sure. Javon loves these 3-point attempted squares. We move.
I do.
Sean Padola, threes.
Sure.
18.
Sure.
Lead off.
It's crazy.
He's fucking banging 2 threes today. And then he's banging a expert.
That's crazy.
Let's go, Padola. More than 1.5 threes. Sure. What else?
$4.
PRI?
PRA. I'm going to watch him absolutely cook Eddie Lampkin today, and I'll be excited to do it. See how much he gets switched on. They're going to probably have to switch him on Tristan pretty quickly for a little bit, and that's not going to work.
Okay. Fardaz, Amik.
Is that A team or B team?
I'd say that's probably A team worthy.
Beautiful.
More than 27.5 PRA. Sure. You guys mentioned Davion McNutt. You know what, my man? I am happy that you asked. Yes.
Don't tell me you're going to the threes category, Krabs.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't want to take anything that have to do with his shooting. Although, actually, I kind of did because I like his PRI.
Well, I was going to say he has a pretty green threes square.
Yeah, and his points got bumped down. Here's what I want to take for Davion McNutt. Okay. I want to take Davion McKnight to get rebounds and assists. Now, they don't have that up. They have his assist up, just plain old. They have his points, his PRA, and his 3. I think we just cut the shit and back his PRA, which got bumped up. I thought it was weird to see his PRA getting bumped up with his points getting bumped down and with that 3 square even up there, which looks free as heck. I think he's going to be more of a facilitator today. Maybe we just cut the shit and go with his assists today because he does turn into a fucking great dynamo at times. Last game, a lot of points. Last 2 games, a lot of points. Today, I think he goes more into that, Chris Paul role.
I could see that. I'm in.
I like his assists. If they had a rebounds assist, I would take that because he sneakily gets a good amount of rebounds. But this guy's a dimer, and he's coming off of 2 games. He scored a lot of points. I think we target his assists. I'm in.
Sure. I'm in.
All right. Davion McKnight assists. We'll put him in the B team for now. Davion McKnight. He's going to be the main key to defeating UConn tonight with his absolute elite passing. All right. What else? I got another square, but I'm curious if you do too.
I mean, I got a couple, which this one is probably a little more green than I would like to take for some of these squares, but reasoning behind it's there. Plus, it does hit when it's up. I do like that Emmanuel Miller half a 3 made, which, again, a little more green, but I kind of said the basketball reasoning behind it. Oklahoma's terrible at defending a 3, and a lot of the times when TCU gets a lot of open looks from 3, they're going to leave Emmanuel Miller open because they know that consistently TCU as a team is not going to be able to hit those. He's been one of the shockingly consistent 3-point shooters that they have. So, I think a lot of the misses where they're going to be forcing are going to come from Jameer Nelson, Micah Peavy, a couple of those other guys, and I think Emmanuel Miller is green. So I know that's probably not your favorite square, but I had to throw it out there.
If you're telling me it's green, I like TCU tonight. I don't love that Emmanuel Miller's down, but I like that.
I could introduce you to this one too. Goots, if you want to put up Micah Peavy points for TCU.
Hey, Whataburger guy.
Yeah, what is Whataburger
Sure.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you
what. Good matchups today?
Kind of. He's going to be the guy that once they figure out they can't shoot, Micah Peavy is a slasher. So, he's going to be the guy who gets to the rim consistently when he gets the ball in his hands. So, that one is probably up there for a reason. Plus, the only guys that are on the board for TCU today, it's Emmanuel Miller, who I think he has a pretty solid matchup, but it's Emmanuel Miller, Micah Peavy, and then Trey Tenney's son, who just had a legacy game coming off the bench against Kansas. So I really don't want to get involved with his squares today. But Mike Peavy's looking awfully red everywhere.
Can we go Peavy? There. Can we go Peavy instead of Miller, please? I'm worried about Miller getting bumped down, and I'm worried that he's a green gold.
We can go Peavy.
Thanks. Chat, you guys might not know this. Me and Micah Peavy are boys. Hung out at a Whataburger after his big time performance and win. Nah, he actually just stood up with his sneaky at Whataburger after the game and his full fit. John's like, holy shit, there he is. And I was like, whoa, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Micah Peavy at more than 12 points.
We could, in theory, because it also is similarly red, we could go with his PRA. It's not full red, but it's 4 out of 5 red, I think. Yeah.
Well, tell me what we need to take. This is your Horned Frogs.
I mean, I would probably lean the PRA because he's probably going to have to be involved at every single level. I don't think there's going to be much difference because, again, once they get to that point where they're like, okay, they're giving us open looks and it's not working, Micah Peavy's going to have the ball in his hands probably a little more than Jameer Nelson will. It's okay. He's also going to have to get involved rebounding, but it's another story. But the assist might also be there.
All right. I'm in. Unless I'm going to take his steals. I don't really want to touch those squares yet, though.
Oh,
I'm good on those.
I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen looking at that steal square because he's done it time again. He's going to get multiple steals for breakaway dunks.
So now you want to take his steals?
I don't want to take it. I'm just telling you that works. That works for what we're talking about here.
Okay, well, good. PV over Ks, sure. W Bergzilla. All right, well, I have it's Stephen Curry and Caitlin Clark less than 62.5 points, and we can move on about our day.
Dude.
I'll put that in the 18. We'll wrap it up.
Crabs.
What? It's green.
I hate that Curry just laid an egg, though. He just went 2 for 14. He just went 2 for 14 and 0 of 9 from 3 last time out against the Raptors.
We had the same combo about the same category the other day, and the bet still hit with LeBron. Again, when goats are on the board, you take less thans. When bad players are on the board, you take more thans. Coin goes in bank account. Those are the 3 steps, remember? That's as simple as possible. That's what we got to do. Those are the guidelines, and we're following them. And then some by taking this less than square. I mean, are they putting the square up to lose money tonight? Are they just giving the people some coins? Come on, bro.
All right.
Come on, turn off the sports sack and give me this one.
No, I'm the first one to bring up these squares to you.
I know.
It usually comes after there's multiple, like both of them come off a really good performance.
Okay.
If you only have really one.
Yep. Well, if we take these every time, we will be in the green. Let's just take the Stephen Curry and Caitlin Clark one today because that's hilarious.
All right.
And then tomorrow, if it doesn't hit, you could tell me that the basketball brain should not have been turned off.
Fair.
Deal?
Yep.
Right now, we've got Sean Padula, more than 1.5 3-pointers made. Fardaws Amik, more than 27.5 PRA. And Stephen Curry and Caitlin Clark combo, less than 62.5 points. Sure. B-Team. Lou Dort, more than 4.5 3-points attempted. Davion McKnight, more than 4.5 assists. And Micah Peavy, more than 19.5 PRA.
Well, that might be green.
Do we need to put this one in for something?
I don't think we need to. It's a back burner one. I'll definitely be playing that, but it's not my favorite over some of these squares.
Okay. I need to look at it real quick. Yeah, I don't need to take that. We could put that in something else. Okay. B-Team soaring, sure. B-Team pays the rent, chat. You guys know that. Come on. We will post these slips on the Book of BTL Twitter, as always. All right, you guys better fucking tap in, check it out, and drop a little like, okay? With the voice crack, all right? 3 plays, 3 winners, 2 entries. Sean Padola, 3s. Fardaws Amik, PRA. Steph Curry, Caitlin Clark, less than combo points. B-Team, Lou Dort, 3s attempted. We got Davion McKnight, more than assists. And your guy, Micah Peavy, the Whataburger special, more than PRA. I'm in.
There we go.
I'm in for this. Beetle, you got to tell both, brother. Grow up. Come on. All right. Chad, it might be about that time for a little squad ride action. Goots, run that train, brother.
Dude, people don't talk about Goots run that train is a crazy segue. That's an insane statement.
7-0 on the year.
I haven't thought about that before. That is bad. Yeah. That's
run that train, brother. All right. We're 7-0. We can say whatever the hell we want tonight. Okay. All right, chat. Best bets are below. It's time to craft up the squad ride, gobs. All right. Like Pega was saying in chat earlier, need you guys staying dialed, need the blinders on. Don't be getting fat, happy, and complacent out here on me. Okay. I need you guys clicking the right button, just like you did yesterday, the day before, the day before, the day before. All right. Let's keep smacking bets. Let's lock the fuck in. Javon, what is your favorite play today?
All right, let me preface it with this. It's Florida, and I feel like we each feel similar ways about the opposite person's Florida and Virginia Tech bets. So we probably just have to put those in and let chat decide.
Damn, I thought you were going to say take them out.
Virginia Tech?
Both.
Well, I'm saying
I'd rather do what you said. I thought you were about to be a party pooper.
No, I was just gonna say. I feel like we each have our own hesitations, but the other person loves the play, so we just put it in. Shaq can decide. We trust.
You just hate the Hokies because they cost you coins last game.
Yeah, I mean, I never denied that. Not just last game, but a lot of games.
All right, Florida. Is it ML? Is it spread? What's going on here with the Gators?
It's ML. I don't think it's moved from bettable range.
Okay. Looks like the Hokies, who we're hitting, by the way, are +2 on green, but 1.5 almost everywhere else. We'll be good people. We'll be transparent. We'll keep it at 1.5. Okay. NC State.
I mean, I love NC State.
More than down to take NC State.
Yeah, that one we can
+3.5.
definitely.
It's one of my favorite plays today. I'm with you on that one.
Oh,
NC State +3.5. Oh,
Cam Cake.
Cam is exhausted. What?
Oh, piss.
When's
Unreal.
the last time that's happened?
Unreal.
Damn. Who would have thunk, huh? Who would have thunk?
Oh, there
We're
we
back. All right. NC State's in that puppy. That Hawks over was a hell of a sell job, Javon.
Yeah, I was going to
Put
say
that in there?
if we want to go to the NBA, either go that Hawks over or the Celtics. Whichever one.
What do you think about Mississippi State before we move?
I'm down for Mississippi State.
That's a meat on tape play from the kid.
Got it,
That should go
Joe.
in there.
Put it in then.
All right. Well, we got more of my plays in here, I feel like, right now. So why don't you make the call on NBA Geysermans?
We have
Do you
two
want
and
to
two.
go? Okay. Do you want to go? You're right. Do you want to go? I mean, I like the Celtics, but I'll be honest with you, Javon, that sell job on the over was better. Do we reward the sell job or do we go with the better play?
So here's my one. I like the Celtics, and I'm probably going to be on them. My one concern is there's definitely some injury shit going on in that game with as big a move as there is. I just don't want to be stuck with my dick in my hand when half the T-Wolves lineup gets ruled out by
Something's fishy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my only concern there, but I like the play regardless.
Then let's put in the elite sell job, the best sell job of the day, the over in the Atlanta game.
Sure.
Philly, Atlanta, over 244. Chat, 5 plays, 5 winners on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon after a 2-hour mega BTL. Okay. VT +1.5, sure. Florida money line, sure. NC State +3.5, sure. We got Mississippi State +2, sure. And we got the Philly and Atlanta over 244, sure. 5 plays, 5 winners. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. There's no time. Man, we got time today. But hurry up and go. Chat, do not rush, but do not get complacent and fat and happy and underthinking.
Wow.
On that happy medium,
air.
click the right button. Who's there?
Hokies might be air.
What are you seeing?
You get no love.
Out from the vote.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, Chad does not fuck with VT. I think it's honestly personal, and I do take that personally, but that's something that I just have to deal with. Yeah.
I'm surprised NC State's getting no love. I feel like that's the swept play.
Begging for that one to go.
Any king of the board plays today?
Javon, I'll let you go first. You might need to take some of my plays.
Huh.
Jack, get your bets in while Javon's brainstorming for king of the boards. He's got some work to do, but don't count him out, especially after I chirp.
I feel like I got to pick something off the wall, like my third pick out of the plays. I say my head would tell me Florida, but I can't really afford that juice wise in the king of the board competition because they're -140.
Right.
Huh. How about this?
It's all part of the game. And if you want me to go first, I will while you think.
Yeah, go first. Let me figure out math.
I'm going to go and close out my week today with 2 more winners. So I can sit back, relax, count my guap, and watch Javon try to fucking crawl his way back to the top of the fucking leaderboard. Okay. I'm going to go with the Hokies, and I'll give you a line afterwards, Goots. I'm going to find the fucking best one I can, but it's probably going to be +1.5. And I'm going to go with Mississippi State and the absolute wagon of Chris Yans, who's taking us home at +2. I'm locking those 2 plays in, Mississippi State and the Hokies.
Okay. Just give me NC State.
All right. NC State. Lock it in, and it'll leave you another play. We can see how – that's probably smart to leave yourself a play and see how I end up and see how juicy you got to get for that last square.
Yeah.
Smart.
I'll lay the 3.5 on this one just so I'll save the potential underdog reach for the next 2 days.
Okay. All right. +3.5 NC State for you.
Yeah.
Looks like we got the Philly Atlanta over 244. Looks like Chad agreed. That was the best sell job of the day today. I concur. I do. I got no qualms with it. Looks like Chad wants to move to the NBA, and who are we to tell them what to do? Javon, come on. 7-0 this year. All right, Chad, let's make it 8-0. Love seeing this. All right, Philly Atlanta over 244. Let's keep that total moving up. All right, it's still moving up. Love seeing it. All right, King of the Board plays really quick. We will post it on Book at BTL. I'm going to go with my Hokies and Mississippi State on the spread. Javon is going to go NC State. We have the A team and the B team already crafted today. We're fucking dialed in, chat. Let's get some W's going as we wrap this up. They're going to be posted on Book at BTL. I'm not going to read over them again. You can go find them on that page this afternoon. All right. Go drop it a like as well because we're cashing today. All right, boys. Let's stay perfect in the new year. Javon, stay fucking dialed, my man. Goots is already locked. I don't even got to tell him. Chat, stay dialed. Stay dialed. Stay locked. All right. We got a lot of work to do. And I want to come back here tomorrow, counting my guap, with a 0 in the L column for the squad ride. Okay, knock on wood. You heard it. All right, chat. Finish the job, drive milk tick, and we'll catch you guys on here tomorrow. I don't know about same time. I do know same place, but TBD on the time. All right, chat, and we'll be soon. But the squad ride tonight, we're going with Javon's NBA over between Atlanta and the 76ers. Let's fucking go, boys. W's. As a great man once said, let's muck. Let's muck today, boys. All right.